Fordham Rams men's basketball is back in the Rose Hill Gym for a Sunday afternoon showdown with the Manhattanville Valiants. After dropping their first road matchup against their old rival Iona, the Rams are looking to get back on track in front of the Ram faithful. Fordham hopes to repeat their success from the only other meeting between these two teams back in 1981. The Valiants make the short trip down from Purchase, New York, after a loss in their first road game at Western Connecticut State. Despite the loss, first-year head coach John Mercedes had his guys humming with 4 players in double figures. How about a Sunday matinee of men's college hoops? It's the Fordham Rams versus the Manhattanville Valiants. It's Fordham men's basketball, and it's coming up next on WFUV Sports.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, as we welcome you inside of the historic Rose Hill Gymnasium here on the Rose Hill campus of Fordham University in the Bronx, New York. Tucker Austin and Joe Henry with you. We have Izzy Randazzo with us on sidelines. Ryan Deptula is working the on-site production for us today. And Joe, the Fordham Rams fell against the Iona Gales on Friday. They have to bounce back today against the Manhattanville squad. And, Joe, what are some of the keys for Fordham to get back into the win column today?
Well, it's a great fine-tuning opportunity for a Fordham team that ironically just played probably its best game of the year in that tight loss to Iona. You're playing a D3 team, yes, but you have a chance to get right at the three-point line against a squad that's prioritizing defending the perimeter. They're second in the nation in three-point defense. In a small sample size, Manhattanville's only played in 2 games so far. Your task was stopping one of the top scorers in the country as well, and Andrew St. Louis. Manhattanville runs their offense solely through him. It's a great challenge for a Fordham team that's going to have to game plan for some great scores later this year, so that's something to watch for. It's going to be a fun one, Tuck.
Absolutely, Joe. And we had a chance pregame to catch up with Fordham men's basketball head coach Mike Magpaio to hear about some of that game plan. Take a listen right now. We're here with Fordham men's basketball head coach Mike Magpaio ahead of the Fordham Rams versus the Manhattanville Valiants. And, Coach, your team showed the ability to respond to adversity after the first game of the season against NJIT. How important is it to have that resilience this afternoon in another game coming off a loss?
Yeah, I just think that we're on this journey, and I'm going to talk to them about it right now here in a little bit. And right now we are chasing win number 3. That's all we're thinking about. We're seeing growth. Like I've been saying, baby steps. But I thought we saw a big step last game in a hostile environment, and the guys rose to the challenge and didn't come out on top. And those games can go either way, Wagner, Iona, and so you just keep chopping away and just keep, running your race. A fellow coach just told me that, and you're never satisfied where you are, and so I think that today's another opportunity for us to just chase what we're chasing, and right now it's win number 3.
Short rest after Iona on Friday. What did yesterday look like from a preparation standpoint?
Same as always. We stick to our process. We grade. We watch film of the previous game, Iona. We grade the keys. We had a couple A's, which was transition defense and rebounding, and then a couple C minuses, which was defending the middle ball screen and so on and so forth. And then boom, you move on to the next. You start watching personnel. And yesterday we got a lot of shots up in Rose Hill. And kept it kind of loose. One of the guys that just makes some baskets in their own gym, and that game could have gone either way, and that was one. And I took responsibility for that one. I just thought the last 5 minutes we got a little stuck and didn't have a defensive adjustment for play. They were running over and over and over again. So again, stick to the process, and hopefully today we come out ready to attack this thing.
And you guys were missing Zarik Nutter against Iona on Friday, but Christian Henry stepped up in a big way. He had a really solid performance in his first start as a Ram. How big was that, both for his development and for the development of the offense as a whole?
It's huge. I think that we've all known, including you guys, and I've listened to you guys. You guys are saying the same thing. That is the goal, is to get him in the starting lineup, get him fully healthy. And you're seeing it. He has command. But I'm hard on him. I'm tough on him. I kind of stole a Danny Hurley line the other day with his guard. I told Christian, you're not going to like me for a long time here, because I'm going to continue to hold you accountable and hold you to a standard that I expect our point guards, and my last 2 point guards are studs, have been studs. One's in the NBA on a two-way, and the other one's doing great at Colorado. So I think Christian, but the point guards in this program, they love it because the system is built around a great point guard. And then that just takes some pressure off Day, and it gives them a little more energy. And so, but we'll take Zariq back as well. And if we can get a 3-headed monster, which is what we were trying to build from the start, then we'll have a shot.
And scouting Manhattanville, this is a team, kind of a one-man show with Andrew St. Louis. He's been a baller for the past few years. First 2 games of the season, Conference Player of the Week, dropped 34 in his last game. What's the game plan against him?
You know what? It's very similar to Iona. I'll say just a very similar team, even some of their defensive identity, but the way they're just really willful guards, penetrator. Obviously, St. Louis, we'll compare him to number 11 for Iona the last game. Just really willful, strong, like not the tallest guy, but he's strong and old, and he's scoring at a high clip, so he's going to be really aggressive, fearless. I think that for us, it's again just continue to grow on those things of communication, making sure that we're thinking of our teammates. Some of the guys even yesterday in our film session, I let the guys speak up and what they felt, and they just said they felt a lot of pride. And then so that's what I want to hear. We're starting to build some pride in the program, and so we got to shut these guys down. We cannot let these guys get comfortable. We can't let St. Louis get going early here, and so I think it's just a mentality and as a team to make sure that nobody feels comfortable coming into Rose Hill.
Just one more thing for you here,
Sure.
Coach. There's another size advantage here today for you guys. How crucial is the battle in the paint going to be against these Valiants?
Very similar to Iona. We did the job. We out-rebounded them by 17 or whatever, and I really thought that really controlled tempo. And so same thing. We got to take advantage. And I didn't think that's where I thought that I took the responsibility in the last 5 minutes. We needed to get the ball inside and stick with it. And a lot of time, late in the game, late in the clock. And we got confident guards in Day and Christian. You get to ball screen. But we got to pound the paint. We got to make these guys guard us inside at both the 5 and the 4 position. And that is to our advantage. And that might be our advantage going through the year at times. And when it is, we have to be willing. Our guards have to be willing to throw it into those guys.
Coach, thank you so much for taking the time. As always, good luck this afternoon.
Thank you.
Fordham men's basketball versus Manhattanville coming up next on WFUV Sports.
And we welcome you back inside the Rose Hill Gym as we await the start of this one. The Fordham Rams men's basketball squad up against the Manhattanville Valiants. And we have some starting lineups to get through, Joe. Going to start with the Fordham Rams here. They're sending out graduate guard Marcus Green alongside junior forward Rikus Schulte, junior forward Akira Jacobs, senior guard Christian Henry in his second start as a Ram, and graduate guard Louis Lesmond. And Joe, 2 missing players for the Rams today, 2 super important parts of the offense, Zariq Nutter and Day Reeves, both out today.
So Nutter stays out for his second straight game. He exited at halftime a couple games ago. Our sideline reporter, Izzy Randazzo, will have more on that in a bit, along with Day Reeves' injury, not expected to be a major one. But both of them are out today against a D3 team. You think it's a great opportunity for a guy like Christian Henry to keep having the keys to the car. Be the point guard for this team. 6 assists in 3 straight games. Expect a big night out of him. You get to see a guy like Marcus Green get more reps at the point guard position. We haven't seen a lot of that this year. We even get to see someone like Ryan Pettis play some point guard, and then in the starting lineup, you see Fordham's going big against a really small Manhattanville team. Their tallest starter, Tucker, is 6'5".
Yeah, speaking of those starters for Manhattanville, they're sending out graduate guard Andrew St. Louis, senior guard Chris Robinson, junior guard / forward Isaiah Middleton, junior guard John Ranahan, and senior guard Daniel Marinacci. A lot of guards in that starting lineup, Joe. As we are just about set for tip-off here, it's going to be between the 6'5" Isaiah Middleton and the 6'9" Rikus Schulte. Fordham in Manhattanville ready to go. Tip is almost won by Schulte, but it's pulled down by Chris Robinson. Manhattanville with the first possession of the ball game. Up top for Middleton, straightaway 3 is no good, rebounded by Christian Henry. Henry has it for the Rams, coming the other way. The Fordham Rams in full body white with maroon script lettering and accents. And a ball off the bottom of the backboard here. It's going to be a turnover against the Fordham Rams. Manhattanville wearing all black this afternoon with some white accents, white letters, and white numbers.
Here we go, Tuck. We saw it for 40 minutes against Mount St. Mary's College, the D3 program that Fordham played a couple weeks ago. Full court pressing. You can expect a lot of that today. That's what Fordham's bringing out on its first full defensive possession.
It's up top again for Isaiah Middleton. Looking for an option. Now gets it to Marinaccio into the corner for Andrew St. Louis. Louis guarded by 2 defenders. Middleton has it right wing. He drives the lane on Rika Schulta, spins and puts it up with the right hand. That's no good. Rebounded by Lesmond. Henry has it for the Rams. Now into the left corner for Marcus Green. Green drives in the lane, gets it to Rika Schulta inside. The right-handed 2 in the paint, and it's 2-0 Fordham. A minute gone here in the first half.
That's a blueprint possession. Kick it out to an open guy in the corner, cut the baseline, find the open big, make the layup. Easy as that.
Top of the key for Andrew St. Louis. Manhattanville moving it around. Now it's on the left wing for Chris Robinson. Robinson moves into the left corner, guarded by Christian Henry, now back up top. Pulling the 3 is John Ranahan. That's no good off the front iron, then the backboard, and Louis Lesmond rebounds. Christian Henry drives the lane coast to coast, up with the right hand. It's no good. It rolls out. Rebound Manhattanville. Chris Robinson the other way. Now right wing and back to the top for St. Louis. St. Louis driving on Marcus Green, pulls the mid-range 2, and he gets it to go. We're knotted at 2 with 18-12 to go in the first half.
Yeah, that's the matchup to start. Marcus Green's drawing the defensive assignment on Andrew St. Louis. 1-for-1, St. Louis.
Lesmond gets it down low for Schulta, but his 2 is no good. That's rebounded by Ranahan.
It's an example of him just moving too fast there. Take your time against a smaller opponent.
Driving into the lane, but then tipped away by Lesmond, and it's a turnover. Rams have it. Christian Henry throws it down court for Schulta. Schulta up with the right hand, and that's good. Goes underneath the basket and gives Fordham a 4-2 lead. 17:40 to go in the first half.
Seems like an emphasis pushing the pace on offense for Fordham. That time off of a turnover, but even off of a defensive rebound earlier, getting out quickly.
Ranahan with it, right wing. Now drives on Akira Jacobs. Up to Andrew St. Louis. He pulls the right wing 3. That's no good, a little short. Rebounded by Schulta.
Expect some of these guys to pull from NBA range when they had a foot of space. That's the thought process for this team.
Lesmond on the left side, drives in, bounces off his defender, and Lesmond with some open space gets the baseline 2 to go. It's 6-2 Rams.
It's fantastic to see his first shot go in for the first time all season. Hopefully he can get into a rhythm today offensively. It's badly needed for Fordham. 17
minutes to go here in the first half. 6-2 is the lead for the Fordham Rams over the Manhattanville Valiants. Top of the key for Middleton. He pulls that 3. It's no good off right iron and rebounded by Christian Henry.
Really willing to take that shot. He was 0 for 3 entering today on the season, but left wide open by Schulta.
Henry right wing. Now gets it to the left wing for Lesmond. Lesmond works around his screen. Now he'll put up the 3. That's no good. Rebounded by Akira Jacobs, who goes back up with the right hand and gets the putback to go. It's 8-2 Fordham. 16.5 minutes to go in the first half.
Great to see the confidence level from Lesmond. A couple of shots in which he puts the ball on his floor, steps back, and attempts a jumper.
Chris Robinson directs traffic, now gets it to John Ranahan. Ranahan down low for Robinson. He goes up and he gets the 2 to go. Robinson makes it an 8-4 Fordham lead. Christian Henry has it right wing, guarded by Chris Robinson. Now he gets it to Schulta. Rika Schulta near the top of the key. Handoff play for Christian Henry, who spins into the lane and goes up with the right hand softly, but no good. Rebounded by Schulta.
I believe over the back.
Yeah, they call an over the back foul against Rika Schulta. And with 15:56 on the clock here in the first half, it's 8-4 Fordham. We're going to step away for just a moment, but we'll be right back with more Fordham men's basketball on WFUV Sports.
What's up, everyone? I'm Chris Carino.
I'm Brendan Shorey.
And I'm Tucker Austin.
Your Fordham football broadcasters for the 2025 season.
Join us every Saturday on 90.7 FM and on WFUV Sports YouTube page for live radio broadcasts of every Fordham football game as the Rams continue their quest to their first Patriot League title since 2014.
With a new look offense and veteran leaders on defense, you won't want to miss this. Fordham football, every weekend on WFUV Sports. We welcome you back inside the historic Rose Hill Gym here on the campus of Fordham University in the Bronx, New York. Tucker Austin and Joe Henry with you. Along with us on the sidelines today is Izzy Randazzo. And Joe, it's 8-4 Fordham with 15:56 to go here in this first half. It's been a good start for these Fordham Rams, particularly from one Rikus Schulte, who struggled a lot from the field against Iona on Friday, but tonight he's 2 for 3 to start, rolling early.
Yeah, it's the kind of start that you'd expect from this team as a whole. I don't think anything stands out that's shocking. But when you look at a guy like Schulte, who has struggled to just finish the ball yesterday, even though he played so well in every other phase, he was a great rebounder yesterday in a game where, on Friday rather, against Iona, a game where Fordham dominated on the glass, and they really needed to in that game after struggling on the glass and losing the rebounding battle to a very small Wagner team. So that's a positive sign for Schulte, but how about finishing the basket more? 2 for 3 so far, 4 points. The one miss was a tough one, a shot that he should have made. But the field goal percentage for Schulte is going to be something to start. This is a guy who took 50% of his shots at the rim last year, and he converted at a 72% clip. He's taking even more shots at the rim so far to start this year, but he's only shooting 55% at the rim. So those are numbers to look out for.
Play restarted here between the Fordham Rams and the Manhattanville Valiants as it's a loose ball, gets away from John Ranahan, and that's a turnover against Manhattanville.
No pressure applied really from Roar Korachek into the game, just one of those turnovers that's a little bit careless, sloppy kind of thing you'd expect early in a game when you're playing your second career game against a Division I opponent. Yeah,
Schulte and Marcus Green both took a seat. Roar Kor in the game as well as Abbas Badaja. Or Green's still out there, actually. He was on the right wing. Now Lesmond with the left wing three, and he connects Louis Lesmond. A huge three early in this one for him. It's 11-4 Rams.
You get to exhale. Started the season 2 for 15 from three-point range. Buries his first, or a second.
Ranahan up top, now to the left wing. It's St. Louis, now to the right corner for Chris Robinson. Robinson working on Henry, gets it up top for St. Louis. Ball gets away from St. Louis. It's saved by Marcus Green, who goes tumbling into the cheerleaders, but now Christian Henry has it after the steal. Ball gets away from Henry. Diving forward is Marcus Green, but he can't get there. And then St. Louis, who picked the ball up, puts his foot on the line, and that's another turnover. It's going to be Fordham's ball once again.
And he doesn't commit that turnover if Marcus Green doesn't dive on the floor. Even though he didn't get a piece of that ball, he didn't come up with it. St. Louis then had to rush for the ball. He wasn't looking at his footing, and instead of being able to catch it cleanly, he stepped out of bounds. Earns Fordham another possession.
14:53 to go here in the first half. 11-4 Rams. Louis Lesmond, left corner, drives in. Now gets it back up top for Ryan Pettis now in the game. Marcus Green, right corner three. That's no good. Rebounded by Chris Robinson. Here come the Valiants the other way. Robinson drives the lane. At the right block, goes up with the right hand, but it's no good. Rebounded by Pettis. Ryan Pettis played tenacious defense last game against Iona, but today he's going to get a lot more looks on offense. Left corner for Louis Lesmond is no good. Tip by Akor is no good as well, and rebounded by Middleton. Chris Robinson slows things down for the Valiants. 14-11 to go in the first half now. Still a 7-point lead for the Rams. Top of the key for Middleton. Middleton gets it to St. Louis. St. Louis drives in, up with the right hand, that's no good. Rebounded by Marcus Green. Green to the right wing, all the way into the left corner. Ryan Pettis will take. He does not fight for the rebound, but Ranahan comes down with it.
So a lot of three-point attempts, not something you would expect against a really small team, but I don't hate it. You got to get into a rhythm.
St. Louis works inside, fades away with a jumper at the free throw line, but it's no good. Rebound Badaja.
Fordham trying to jog up ahead and push the pace a little off of a miss.
Rurikor, right wing, now Ryan Pettis. Pettis up to Marcus Green, top of the key, guarded by St. Louis. Marcus Green into the corner, another three for Louis Lesmond. That's no good, a little long. And tipped out of bounds by John Ranahan looking for the rebound, and it'll be Fordham's ball once again. 13:21 to go here in the first half. And a 2-minute scoreless drought for both of these teams.
1 for 6 now for Fordham from 3. 6 of your 14 shots are threes. Not what you'd expect against a small team, but again, I want to see Louis Lesmond shoot as much as he wants. I want to see those shots get in. I want him to feel comfortable and confident from beyond the arc.
Marcus Green works into the paint. Up with the right-handed lay, and that's no good. Gets his own rebound, and he's fouled the second time as Rurikor jumps up and hangs on the rim after the play, looking for the putback. But that's going to be the first free throws of the afternoon coming from Marcus Green.
Not a guy known as a slasher. I think his biggest pedigree is as a sharp shooter on the outside. We haven't seen a ton of that so far this season. Guy only shot 32% from the perimeter last year, but in years prior had been shooting up around 40%, 41%. A guy who's a candidate for a bounce-back year. Interesting to see him have the ball in his hands a lot more. It's a guy who had one of the lowest usage rates on the team behind only Louis Lesmond. So early in the season, the offense is not revolving around Marcus Green. He's sitting in the corner or in the wing a lot. I'm intrigued to see how he'll fare today with the ball in his hands a lot more.
Lesmond takes a seat, as does Bodija. Marcus Green makes a pair to make it 13-4 Fordham. 9-point lead, 13:09 to go in the first half.
It's a zone press look from Fordham. I haven't seen this season.
Into the right corner for Ranahan. His three is no good. Up for the rebound. It was a 50-50 ball, but it's last touched by St. Louis, Fordham's ball.
And credit to Manhattanville, they really haven't been troubled by the press at all in a way that their conference mates, Mount St. Mary's, these teams are in the same conference. Look, different national. Mount St. Mary's really, really struggling this year, last year, going to be for a little while. Manhattanville more of a competitor within the conference, but no problem handling the press from a D1 team with a lot of scrappy guards. It's been pretty impressive.
Yeah, for reference, Joe, Manhattanville handedly beat Mount St. Mary's College twice last season in conference play.
Yeah.
Free throw line for Akira Jacobs. Now down low for Rikus Schulte. And Schulte puts in another one. It's an 11-point lead for the Rams now, 15-4 with 12:36 to go in the first half.
Coach Magpayo said, I want to see Jacobs get catches out of the post as well. I think he's a good passer. It's not something we saw a lot of out of him at Hawaii the past couple of years, but looks good there doing it.
Boy, Pettis with the tenacious defense once again. Is it now in the right corner for Ranahan? Tries to get it cross court into the left corner, but it's swatted out of bounds by Rurakur.
And Manhattanville scoreless for almost 4 minutes now. The half-court defense from Fordham has been really impressive, staying in front of a lot of good ball handlers. That's the skill for these Valiants.
Inbound to St. Louis, goes up with the right hand, a little floater, but that's no good. It was short, rebounded by Christian Henry. Henry drives the length of the floor with St. Louis guarding him. Now into the right corner, it's Ryan Pettis. His three, no good. Rebound Ranahan.
Again, like to see him take those shots.
John Ranahan, right wing, working on Akira Jacobs. Now it's in the right corner for James Apostolico. Ranahan again, and it's poked out of bounds by Rurakur. And it's going to stay with Manhattanville. 16 seconds on the shot clock, 11:54 on the game clock. But, Joe, a 7-0 run for these Fordham Rams in the last 4 minutes, 21 seconds, exactly how you want to open a basketball game.
Yeah, I mean, it hasn't been perfect. The shooting woes continue. You're 1 for 7 now. This is a team overall that is now one of the worst teams in the country, frankly, in terms of shooting. They're 20% on the season. They were 6 for 32 against Iona. That's bottom 12 in the country now that they rank behind the arc. But I don't expect them to shoot any less against Manhattanville. Sure, the focus should be getting to the paint if you want to beat them by as many points as possible. Just pepper the paint. This team is really, really small. But if you're thinking long-term, get these guys feeling comfortable. Show your confidence in them. Tell Louis Lesmond, Marcus Green, Ryan Pettis, tell those guys, feel free to launch away. You want to see them get into a rhythm for the more important games this season.
Once again, the Fordham Rams lead the Manhattanville Valiants 15-4 with 11:54 to go in the first half. But now we send you back to the Rose Hill studio for a one-on-one scoreboard update. Here is Luca Cole.
The one-on-one scoreboard.
The Giants across the NFL. The Giants fall to the Packers 20-27, ending the game with a costly interception from Jameis Winston. The Miami Dolphins are the first team to win this Sunday after a game-winning field goal over the Washington Commanders in Madrid. Steelers' Darnell Washington hurdles two Bengals defenders in their 34-12 win. The Jaguars pull off a blowout upset over the Chargers, holding Justin Herbert to 81 pass yards. The score of that game, 35-6. Buccaneers versus Bills, proving to be the best early state game with 9 score changes. The Bills currently lead that game 44-32. J.J. McCarthy of the Minnesota Vikings throws 2 interceptions in their tight loss versus the Bears, and the Carolina Panthers could continue improving their season. They lead 27-24 over the Atlanta Falcons. Now back to the Rose Hill Gym for more Fordham basketball.
We welcome you back inside the historic Rose Hill Gym here on the campus of Fordham University in the Bronx, New York. Tucker Austin and Joe Henry with you. Third member of our crew tonight is Izzy Randazzo. And Joe, we got a fun one on our hands if you're a Fordham fan so far, but we saw Fordham get out to a similar lead against Iona, and then the Gales were able to work their way back into that one. It's going to be so important for the Rams to keep their foot on the gas in this one. Inbound for the Valiants.
2-3 zone look for Fordham, by the way. Don't
Top
see
of
a
the
lot
key
of that.
for Chris Robinson. Robinson over to St. Louis. St. Louis back over to Robinson. A deep left wing three. That's good. Chris Robinson drills it from 4 feet behind the three-point line, and it's 15-7 Fordham. Christian Henry works around an Akira Jacobs screen. Now left corner for Ryan Pettis. Back up top for Christian Henry. Rora Kaur. Now left corner, Ryan Pettis again. Pettis to a wide open Christian Henry who thinks better of a three. Drives into the paint. Now it's Ryan Pettis. Wide open look right wing. That's no good. Fight for the rebound. Rikas Schulte has it. Schulte back up with the right hand, and he gets it to go. More second chance points for these Fordham Rams, and the lead's back up to 10, 17-7.
So Rikas Schulte is leading the A-10 in rebounding, but once you pull down that offensive board, which he's done so well, take your time, take a moment, and then go up with it. We saw that there. Perfect execution.
Chris Robinson finds Andrew Melillo in the paint, but his layup is no good. Rebound by Schulte. Ryan Pettis pushing the pace, tries the bounce pass to Akira Jacobs, and it's going to be last touched by Jacobs. Valiant's ball.
Still impressed by Manhattanville's ability to run back on defense. You're not getting set in the half court in that possession. Fordham did a good job moving it ahead, but you get back far enough so that on a bounce pass to Jacobs that's a little bit sloppy, you're able to poke it away. It hits his hands, goes out of bounds. Solid play from the Valiants.
Marcus Green back in there for the Rams, guarding Andrew St. Louis. Right wing with it, it's Isaiah Middleton. Middleton drives on Badaja. Pulls on Badaja, but that is a long two over the rim, no good. There's a foul on the rebound by James Apostolico. Fordham going to have it underneath.
Like the aggression there. He came in way after that rebound was secured by Fordham. The rest of his Valiant teammates kind of got the memo. Let's dive back on defense and set in the half court so they can't keep pushing the pace on us. He said, now let me take a shot at this loose ball on the rebound. And just ended up crashing into a Fordham player.
It's Apostolico's first personal of the night. Christian Henry for Rora Kaur, left wing three. That's no good. Strong. Rebounded by Badaja. Abbas Badaja goes up with the right hand. Another second chance bucket for Fordham. 19-7 with 10 minutes flat to go in the first half.
You had 3 defenders around him, but I still like it. Take that pound dribble, create a little bit of space. You got wide shoulders, use them to create some separation, then go up.
Top of the key, it's Andrew Melillo. Now in the right corner. Isaiah Middleton's three is no good. Rebounded by Akira Jacobs. Jacobs gets it to Henry. Cross the tie line with 9:45 to go in the first half. Christian Henry waits for a Jacobs screen. Now the no-look pass to Rora Kaur, but back up top for Henry. Henry finds Marcus Green. Back to Henry. Fordham swinging it around, trying to find space. Akira Jacobs out to Marcus Green. Right wing three. No good. Rebounded Andrew St. Louis. St. Louis going to drive coast to coast. Goes up against Christian Henry, but that's no good with the right hand. Abbas Badaja with the rebound, and right back in transition with the Rams. Rora Kaur left wing three. That's no good. Rebounded by Isaiah Middleton. Now here come the Valiants. St. Louis with it. Gets it to Melillo. Andrew Melillo. Now it's Chris Robinson, guarded by Marcus Green. Into the left corner, and there's a foot on the line. Andrew Melillo didn't see where he placed that back foot, and it's another turnover against the Valiants here. 8:59 to go in the first half. 19-7 the lead for the Rams.
And not necessarily on that possession, but overall, you're holding a team to 7 points through 12 minutes of play or 11 minutes of play. The defense from Fordham's guards, particularly on the drive, from some of these adept slashing ball handlers like a St. Louis, even like a Middleton who's a little bit bigger but also is not afraid to get into the paint, like a Chris Robinson as well. Christian Henry, Marcus Green have kept their bodies square. They've been legal guarding position. They've done really well to defend without fouling on these slashes, and Manhattanville has had nothing going offensively.
Christian Henry finds Marcus Green on the left wing now. Henry, right wing for Louis Lesmond. Now Abbas Badaja. Badaja, left corner. Marcus Green for three. That's good. Marcus Green finally gets a three to fall for the Fordham Rams, just their second made three in 12 attempts.
Green's first 2 attempts did not look good, but got to keep shooting. They need you to shoot all season.
Big contact there right in front of us, but now the ball is back out to Andrew Melillo. Up top for Chris Robinson. He pulls the three over Christian Henry, but they call the foul as Chris Robinson hits the deck. Christian Henry up into the landing zone of Robinson, and he's going to go to the line to shoot three. 22-7 Fordham, 8:18 to go in the first half.
Yeah, it was an interesting acting job. He somehow landed his feet facing the total opposite direction of the hoop that he shot at, but draws the contact. I mean, Henry was in the landing space, so it's a wise play from Robinson.
Looks like referee Roger Ayers is giving him a bit of an explanation after that one. Maybe I'll give you that one, but don't do it again. Robinson's first free throw is no good.
Robinson might be the most interesting story on this Manhattanville team from a player perspective. He played community college ball as a freshman 3 full years ago. He averaged 11 points at Dodge City CC. And then he didn't play any organized basketball for 2 straight years until now, where he's a fixture on this team.
Just made the second of 3, so now the third on the way. Robinson out of Bed-Stuy, New York. And he makes 2 out of 3 at the line that time to finally end that scoring drought for these Valiants. 22-9 is the lead for the Rams. Christian Henry has it top of the key. Now gets it to Marcus Green. Back over to Marcus Green, left wing, 3, no good. Fight for the rebound, but it's reeled in by Andrew St. Louis. St. Louis guarded full court by Green and gets across the timeline though. Works around a screen. Now tries to get it to Middleton. He pulls from the right elbow, that's no good. Rebound Christian Henry.
Manhattanville's showing a 2-3 zone defense. Interesting to see how Fordham handles that here. Want to try and get the ball in the middle of the floor. They haven't done that very well, just a lot of perimeter play.
Lesmond cross court to Green, and he tries to get it inside for Akira Jacobs, but it's tipped out of bounds by Isaiah Middleton. And so with 7:35 to go here in the first half, it's 22-9. Fordham leads Manhattanville. But right now, we're going to send it to our first sidelines report with the third member of our crew. Here is Izzy Randazzo.
Thanks, Tucker. Well, everyone, this game is a historic one. It's been 43 years since Fordham played Manhattanville, with the last game being February 14th, 1981, in which the Rams beat the Valiants 73-51. Key players I'm seeing right now, or key players are Day-Day Reeves and Zarik Nutt are out with injuries, meaning that other players like Christian Henry and Akira Jacobs are going to have to keep the momentum up and the pressure high, which they have been. An aspect that Fordham has been struggling with is their ability to make their threes sink, which the Rams have been honing during practice. So far, Marcus Green has been playing well and getting up for rebounds, which his teammates and coaches are commending him for. The word I'm hearing that's being most yelled is rebound, with Coach Troy and Coach Magpio telling Roracor to focus on twos and stuff like that. Coach Magpio and the assistant coaches have been ardently emphasizing the need for the Fordham players to hone their rebounds and get up. And I'm seeing that the morale on the bench is great and the energy is electric here on the sidelines.
Thank you very much, Izzy Randazzo. You'll hear more from her throughout the game this afternoon into the evening. Joe, the sun goes down so early now that we're back in standard time. This game started during the afternoon, but I can already see through the window, and it's getting dark outside before 4:30.
It's great for a broadcaster, vernacular-wise. I can say it's an evening game. It doesn't matter when the ball tipped off. It's always going to look like it's an evening game. I love the word evening, Tucker. And I could even dabble in the night. You know, we get to second half, Tucker. If you say this is a Sunday night festivity, I'm okay with that. I'm just letting you know. I'm okay with that.
You say evening. I was excited for a Sunday matinee matchup, but it's honestly a little late for a matinee at this point. But either way, Fordham with a 22-9 lead here over Division III Manhattanville. Certainly the type of result that you'd expect so far, but Fordham, the three-point shooting again is just glaringly where they struggle the most. Fordham is 2 for 13 from beyond the arc to start the night tonight. The only players to knock down a three have been Marcus Green and Louis Lesmond, and the pair of them are both 1 for 4 tonight. Meanwhile, though, Manhattanville is 1 for 7, but I still think it's interesting that Fordham has shot 6 more three-pointers than Manhattanville and has still only made 1 more.
I don't think Fordham's played in a game yet this year in which more than half of their shots have been three-point attempts, but that's what we've seen so far. 13 of your 25 takes have been threes. If you're Fordham, and it hasn't looked great so far, and I think when you look at the final score, you might say, well, why were they shooting so many threes? This team is tiny. Manhattanville's tallest player is 6'5", and not a terribly big 6'5". Why aren't you getting the ball in the paint more? Again, about finding a rhythm for some of these guys that have struggled. Hopefully they'll start to go in.
Fordham starts the play from underneath their offensive basket. Christian Henry tries to move into the paint, but it's tipped away. Some contact underneath. Christian Henry hits the deck, but it's going to be Fordham's ball still with a 14-second shot clock. .7:31 to go here in the first half. Fordham enjoying a 13-point lead here in the early stages. Christian Henry ready for an inbound from underneath once again. Looking for an option, finds Abbas Badija. Badija in the post. Now loses the basketball, still trying to tip it away, using his height, but he can't get it. It's rebounded. And now back the other way for Robinson. It's tipped away by Marcus Green, but it's going to stay with the Valiants.
A little bit of an ugly play there. That's one of those plays from Bodija. You have one or two of them every game where you're like, oh, okay, yeah, he's still a redshirt freshman. He's still figuring some things out. At times he looks so savvy. Other times he looks like an undisciplined rookie, and that's what he is.
Left corner three very quickly off the inbound, and Chris Robinson drills it. 22-12, the lead is back to 10 for the Fordham Rams. 7 minutes to go in the first half.
He just showed the three-point symbol to Mike Magpaio's face. He turned around and just threw it at him. Tariq Nutter's joking, hey, should we get a T on that one?
And the ball out of bounds. The pass from Rika Schulte intended for Abbas Badija, but really nowhere near him. Bit of a miscommunication there. And Joe, just to wrap your point, Coach Magpaio sort of just sending Chris Robinson away back down the court after he hit that three.
If we see a technical today, the first technical of the season coming in this game, I would love that.
Ryan Pettis, more tenacious defense. Chris Robinson makes the move on him, though, goes up with the right hand. That's no good. Fight for the rebound, and Rika Schulte comes down with it. Robinson hit the deck. Marcus Green, right wing, now drives into the paint. Goes from his right to his left, and now it's left wing for Ryan Pettis. That three is no good. Rebounded by Robinson.
Shot looked good. It was straight on, just a little too strong.
Andrew St. Louis drives all the way to the rim, goes up with the left hand. It's no good, but he's fouled and hits the floor hard. And he's going to go to the free throw line to try and cut this Fordham lead to 8. 6:20 to go in the first half.
Again, you have to be pretty happy with the two-point defense. St. Louis gets to the line there, but Manhattanville hasn't gotten to the line a lot. The only time was when Robinson got fouled on that three, and that was a tough one to call as well. So their first trip to the line on a two-point shot, and from two-point range, as St. Louis hits his first, this team is 2 for 12. So great interior defense. That's one of the big keys for Fordham. Can you crash on the interior? Can your guards stay square and commit aggressive defense without fouling? That's what we've seen so far. I've been very impressed.
Andrew St. Louis' second free throw is good. 22-14, the Rams lead over the Valiants. Left wing for Louis Lesmond, now top of the key for Pettis, back to Lesmond. Finds Rika Schulte inside. He works to the left block, and with the reverse layup with the right hand, it's Rika Schulte. He has Fordham back up 10, 24-14.
He's shooting 5 for 6. He seems way more comfortable on the inside. You need that from him.
Driving the lane, it's Isaiah Middleton who gets it to go with the right hand. It's 24-16 now. And I believe there was a short stoppage there. The referee talking to Coach Mike Magpaio about something. No foul, I believe, on the floor, but just a brief stoppage, and now back to play again. Louis Lesmond, top of the key for Pettis, finds Schulte. Schulte tries to get it down low to Akira Jacobs, but throws it over the top. John Ranahan hits the floor. It seems like there's bodies everywhere at this point in the game.
That's the second turnover from Schulte that's looked the exact same. He's been so efficient as a scorer, but for a guy touted pretty strongly as a passer by Mike Magpaio, it has not looked great in that aspect of his game so far.
Top of the key, Chris Robinson guarded heavily by Ryan Pettis. Now a baseline J from the right side, and that's good from Isaiah Middleton. And Fordham is forced to take a timeout here to try and recollect themselves. 24-18 as Manhattanville's working their way back into this one with 5:20 to go in the first half.
Talking an 11-2 run in 3 minutes and 20 seconds. Fordham has only scored 2 points in over 3 minutes of play. It's been some careless turnovers, of course some missed shots. But on defense too, Fordham has kind of taken their foot off the gas pedal. Manhattanville, I feel like, has hit a couple of tough shots these last 2 times down the floor from Middleton. Both of those shots were contested pretty well. One was a step-back jumper on the baseline, this last one, and the one before he was streaking down the middle of the floor. He's kind of out of control. He got bodied up by his defender, and he somehow kissed it in off glass. You can't really hate the defense, but offensively, he scored just 24 points in 15 minutes against a D3 program. For reference, Fordham scored over 100 against Mount St. Mary's, so by this point in the game, they would have been at something like 40. I think they ended up scoring 65 points in the first half of that game. Fordham's projected to finish with 35, maybe 40.
And this is certainly a better squad, as we've explained so far. Manhattanville, a much more put-together basketball program than Mount St. Mary's College, but still, we mentioned also that they're they're the second nationally ranked three-point defending team in Division III, but Fordham's been getting good looks from 3, and they just haven't been falling. Akira Jacobs at the left elbow gets it inside for Schulte, and he misses with the left-handed layup, and it's rebounded by Robinson. Chris Robinson, left wing for Manhattanville. Now into the left corner. I think it was a 2, but that's no good. Rebounded by Lesmont. Christian Henry pushing the pace. Through the lane, he's fouled. He drove straight into the paint. Chris Robinson is going to pick up his first personal of the night.
More aggressiveness offensively. Like to see that from Christian Henry. He's a guy who was slashing so much last year. We didn't see a lot of that to start the season, but every aspect of his game is rounding into form. 3 straight games now with 6 assists, so as a playmaker he's developing. We saw him hit not just his first 3 of the season on Friday, but help his first 3 threes of the season. Now some of those fine-tuning aspects. He finished that game 0 for 7 from 3 after making those first 3. He was slashing at times, but then late in the game, he was settling for a lot of step-back threes as his first free throw rattles out. For Christian Henry, you want to see a full 40-minute game in which he's looking to pass first. His shot diet is balanced. He's slashing inside. He's creating some shots at the perimeter. He's limiting those far 2s, which haven't looked good for him. And he's hitting his free throws, which he doesn't do here.
Offensive rebound, though, by Akira Jacobs. But it is stolen away by Isaiah Middleton on the pass intended for Rura Kaur.
6 turnovers for Fordham.
4:40 to go in the first half. Fordham up 24-18 against Manhattanville. Chris Robinson has it. Now across court for Andrew St. Louis. St. Louis rising up and going through the lane. He's fouled. Left-handed layup is no good, but St. Louis will go back to the free throw line.
And that's Christian Henry getting caught behind the off-ball screen, trying to curl off of it, where St. Louis is coming to get that catch at the top of the key. He's behind in that play, so he's sprinting, and he can't change direction. Louis on the catch is able to just go straight to his left, beats him by a full 2 steps, and Jacobs is late in rotation.
St. Louis is 2 for 2 on the evening, and he makes the first of 2 this time around. And the foul on the other end of the floor that I attributed to Chris Robinson was actually charged to Daniel Marinaccio, so Robinson still with no fouls as St. Louis makes the second. The reason that's important is Chris Robinson's the leading scorer for Manhattanville right now in double figures with 10. Rura Kaur, handoff for Lesmont, now top of the key for Christian Henry, guarded closely by St. Louis. Another screen this time by Rura Kaur, now Henry's double teamed. Marcus Green is double teamed. There's an open man in the corner, but it's tipped away by Marinaccio. And boy, head coach John Mercius for Manhattanville is really hyped for his team after an excellent defensive possession.
I mean, they're hedging these screens, and then they're trapping into the corner, and then trapping again off of the pass, and they're making life tough. They're getting deflections.
Marcus Green all the way cross court for Louis Lesmont. He gets it inside for Akira Jacobs, up with a left hand from the right side, but it's no good, and he's fouled. So Akira Jacobs will go to the line for the first time tonight.
These Fordham bigs can't be shying away from contact. If you're Akira Jacobs, you're 6'11", the tallest guy on the other team is 6'5". That time he streaks inside. He's now really looking for contact. He ends up getting bodied in the middle of the chest, able to get a decent look off, misses it, will get to the line. But don't be afraid to put your back to the basket. I know that's not your game, Akira Jacobs, but you have such a strong advantage that you can do that, and you're a skilled finisher in the post. We've seen that this season. That's an area where I'd like to see him prioritize. Shoot those shots.
Jacobs Missed the first. And so he'll look to make it 1 for 2. The 6'10 junior from Yokohama, Japan, out of the NBA Global Academy. The first Japanese prospect ever to participate in the NBA Global Academy. And he makes the second of 2 free throws. 25-20, the lead for the Fordham Rams as we cross 4 minutes to go in this first half. Chris Robinson gets it to the right side for John Ranahan. Now Isaiah Middleton, top of the key. Left wing 3 coming from John Ranahan, and he hits. Assisted by Middleton, and it's a 2-point game, 25-23. Pettis has it after the inbound. He's going to take it across the timeline. Now speeds up to the right wing, looking for an option, throws it down low for Akira Jacobs. He's trying to get it out. Now to Ryan Pettis. He pulls from the right wing. That's no good off the front of the rim, rebounded by Chris Robinson, who takes it in transition. Fires it to Ranahan again. Ranahan steps back and pulls from three-point land, and that's no good. Rebounded Ryan Pettis. Pettis slowing things down. Mike Magpio trying to organize his guys here. 3:15 to go in the first half. Fordham leading by 2. Fordham led by as many as 15. Now left corner for Akira Jacobs. All the way cross court, Marcus Green in the right corner. He drives the lane. Reverse layup with the right hand is good. Silky smooth from Marcus Green, and Fordham back up to a 4-point lead.
When Fordham's worked the baseline, their offense has been at its best. This is Manhattanville's defense is trying to force Fordham into taking threes, and it's working.
And a long right-handed layup trying to go over Akira Jacobs from St. Louis, but he can't get it to go. Rebound Fordham. Louis Lesmond throws it down low for Jacobs. He gathers and puts it up with his right hand that time, and it's 29-23. 2 quick buckets for the Fordham Rams, desperately needed.
You need to do that quick as well. Off of a missed rebound, push it up the floor, get it to your big man before the other team is able to send their biggest man down.
Left wing for Andrew St. Louis, now cross court for Daniel Marinaccio. Right corner, Robinson, no good for 3. Rebound Roracor as Robinson hit the deck again. Lesmond gets it to Roracor. Roracor tries to drive, but he's fouled by John Ranahan as he was trying to move through the post down to that left block.
An offense that looks just way more alive in the last minute or so after looking dormant for 5 straight minutes. Manhattanville now hasn't scored in 2 minutes, and suddenly Fordham is looking like the offense that they had looked. And it starts with pushing the ball in transition, even off of misses, even if it's not off of a turnover. And credit Manhattanville, only 4 turnovers in almost a full half of play against a Division I team. For a team that's averaging 17.5 turnovers per game, that's incredibly impressive. It feels like Fordham could be more aggressive in the full court press, but maybe they feel like with only a 6-point lead, they're not confident enough to do that. They're going to wait until they have a bigger lead, but whatever it is with Fordham, the solution is to get the ball inside as fast as possible. Before Manhattanville can set this zone, which has given you so many problems, the 2-3 zone, get the ball inside right away, break down their defense, going to create wide open looks on the perimeter. Since those aren't hitting, just trust your guys. You got a couple guys who are 6'10", 6'11". They can go up and they can hit those shots over the smaller defenders every single time. You have to rely on that.
29-23, the lead for the Fordham Rams with just 2:06 to go here in the first half. But now we're going to send you back to the Rose Hill studio for a one-on-one scoreboard update. Here's Luca Cole.
The one-on-one scoreboard.
Back in football, the Panthers continue improving their season, closing out a close game in overtime versus the Atlanta Falcons, 30-27. The Houston Texans barely pull off the win over the Tennessee Titans, 16-13. The Bills close out a high-scoring game against the Buccaneers, 44-32. Josh Allen puts up 300 yards and 3 touchdowns. The San Francisco 49ers start off hot against the Arizona Cardinals with a 99-yard kickoff return to start the game. That game currently stands at 13-9. In the NBA, the Clippers trail the Celtics 49-63 at halftime. In college basketball, the number 1 Houston Cougars take on the number 22 Auburn Tigers, with both teams sitting at a 3-0 record. The Cougars currently lead the Tigers 59-53. And now back to the Rose Hill Gym for more Fordham basketball.
welcome back inside the Rose Hill Gym here on the campus of Fordham University in the Bronx, New York. Tucker Austin and Joe Henry with you. Third member of our crew is Izzy Randazzo. It's 29-23 Fordham with 2:06 to go here in the first half. Schulte, the leading scorer for the Rams, with 10 on 5 for 7 shooting and 4 rebounds. Meanwhile, the leading scorer for Manhattanville is Chris Robinson, also with 10. Inbound, and it's now Marcus Green with it on the right wing. Clock ticks under 2 minutes to go. Green. Manhattanville wants a walk, but they won't get it. Louis Lesmond has it now at the right wing. Now back to Marcus Green. Lesmond bounces it inside for Bodija, but it gets away, and it's going to be off Manhattanville. But Bodija, Joe, you mentioned earlier, he is a redshirt freshman. He is relatively inexperienced, but he hasn't really shown it so far this season until tonight. That redshirt freshman status is really showing in the early going here.
You need a guy like that to take over a game. Just 2.5 points for the longest guy on the floor. You need more from that.
It's 1 for 1 shooting, though. He's just lost the ball a handful of times. Marcus Green has it after the inbound. He fades away with 2 seconds on the shot clock. That's no good, but it hits rim. Lesmond tries for the rebound, but he can't reel it in. Now St. Louis will take it the other way. Ranahan in the corner. Now they get it to Isaiah Middleton inside. He's working on Roracor. Up with the right hand. That's no good. He airballed it short, rebounded by Lesmond. 1:25 to go in the first half here. Very low-scoring half between these two schools. Christian Henry has it. Now Roracor gets it to Louis Lesmond. Down low. Abbas Bodija uses his body and goes up with the left hand to score. Bodija, his second bucket of the night, and it's 31-23 Fordham.
So now they're back to man defense, but they're going to have the perimeter defender stunt towards the big man when he gets the ball and force the team to kick out for threes.
Into the left corner for Marinaccio. That's no good. Rebounded by Bodija. Chris Robinson passed that one into the left corner after taking about 4.5 steps. Christian Henry on the left wing. Up to Bodija. Now Christian Henry. Drives into the paint. Now Bodija. He's going to pull for 3 from the left wing, and he hits. Bodija hits for 3 and screams at the Fordham bench with energy. 34-23. The Rams have the lead. 34 seconds to go in the half.
His first 3 as a college student, his second 3-point attempt of the year. Maybe that's what's going to inject some energy into this Fordham team.
25 seconds to go. 16 on the shot clock. Fordham back up by 11. Marinaccio, top of the key. Now Ranahan, guarded by Roracor. Ranahan tries to move inside, and he's fouled by Abbas Bodija, who thought he got plenty of basketball, but he makes some contact with the hand. And that's going to send Manhattanville back to the free throw line with Ranahan here with 12.3 to go.
I think part of why Fordham has struggled to separate itself in this game and to be as dominant as they were. Of course, this is a better team than Mount St. Mary's, but with Nozerik Nutter, that's a guy you could trust to get a paint touch and to just body his defender. He's 6'7", he's strong. His entire style as a player offensively is bully ball on the interior. He's not afraid of anyone. He's seeking out contact. He was dominant in that game. It was his best game of the year. And then Dede Reeves is a guy who will calm you down. When your team's struggling, he will calm you down. He will make the big shot, and he'll get you right back on track, and he'll play some tough 94 feet of defense on the full court press as well.
So Ranahan makes the first of 2, but then a lane violation against the Valiants waves off the second free throw, so even if it went in, it wouldn't have counted. 34-24, the Fordham Rams with a 10-point lead and 12.3 to go. Shot clock is turned off. Fordham trying to add one more bucket before the end of this first half. Lesmond has the inbound. Fakes the handoff to Henry and now gets it to him. Just 7 seconds to go. They got to push the pace here. Christian Henry works around a couple of screens, and now he's fouled intentionally by Andrew St. Louis.
Foul to give. Waited as long as you possibly could. 3.5 on the clock. Really smart basketball being played by Manhattanville on defense. They're mixing up their defenses. You have a foul to give here as late as possible. Really smart.
3.5 on the clock. It's going to have to be catch and shoot for the Rams. Henry gets it into Lesmond. Right corner. That's for 3, and it's good! Louis Lesmond beats the buzzer at the end of the first half, and it's 37-24 Fordham as we go to the locker rooms.
So badly needed. So badly needed. Through 4.5 games, finally Louis Lesmond has hit 2 threes in a game, and that last one gives you the exact kind of jolt that you really needed heading into the locker room. He had to bury that 3. Curly off of a screen, Last play, buzzer's about to be towards the corner on the right side of the floor. Not a comfortable shot at all, but he buries it. And after a really ugly first half for Fordham, you have something to write home about.
Louis Lesmond, the Paris, France native, just matched his total three-point total on the season. Just in this game, he doubled up. He had 2 threes made coming in. Now he's got 4 total on the season, and he has Fordham up by 13 at the break. 37-24, the Fordham Rams take a sizable lead into the locker rooms. And now we send it back to the Rose Hill studio for the one-on-one halftime report. Here are Thomas Tisdale and Luca Cole.
The one-on-one halftime report.
Welcome into the one-on-one halftime show of this men's basketball game between the Fordham Rams and the Manhattanville. Sorry, I forgot what their mascot is, but against Manhattanville, Fordham is up 37-24. Is a little bit of a shaky first half. Fordham got off to a strong start, and it very much seemed like it was going to be a similar game to the one Fordham played against Mount St. Mary's earlier in the season, where Fordham just boat raced them pretty much the entire game. But Manhattanville showed some resolve. They showed some fight, and they battled back. They brought it back to a 2-point game with just under 4 minutes left to go in the first half. And then Fordham goes on a 12-1 run. This is sort of the end of the first half is sort of what we expected from this Fordham team throughout this game. They were able to hit a couple of three-pointers. Louis Lesmond's three-pointer at the buzzer to end the first half, I think, just capped off a pretty spectacular offensive performance for this Fordham team. Obviously, maybe not firing on all cylinders in the way that they wanted to, but Luca, what did you see from this game, and what did this Fordham team do particularly well in this first half?
Yeah, they've done a pretty fantastic job at containing this Manhattanville star in the making, Andrew St. Louis, to only 6 points, and Chris Robinson to only 10 points. I mean, the defense there it was a must going into this game, and they really showed out. And if they can continue to keep Andrew St. Louis and Chris Robinson to single digits and low double digits, then I think this is an easily closeout to the game, potentially.
Yeah, I thought the Fordham defense was pretty spectacular in that first half, and it wasn't something super unexpected. This Fordham defense is strong, and they're much bigger than this Manhattanville team. This Manhattanville team, their tallest guy is only 6'5", and he's not a particularly big 6'5", like our team at the Rose Hill Gymnasium pointed out. And Fordham, I think, especially to end that first half, used their size to their advantage. And I just look at the rebounding numbers, 22 to 14 defensive rebounds. But the thing that jumps out at me the most is the offensive rebounding, 7-0. I think Fordham's just doing an incredible job crashing the glass, getting second chance points, and even when those shots aren't falling, not a particularly efficient night from this Rams team, but the rebounding at a high clip, and are just, yeah, I think they're just being incredibly physical to this Manhattanville team. But it's not all sunshine and rainbows for this Rams team. Obviously, they're playing a D3 opponent, and having a sizable lead at halftime is what is to be expected. But what is this Fordham team? What can they continue to improve on, looking into next game as they try to get ready for A-10 play?
Yeah, looking into next game, I think they definitely need to keep up these rebounds, especially the offensive rebounds. I mean, earlier in the season with the home opener versus New Jersey Institute of Technology, I mean, those rebounds were really the difference in that game. And we can see it here. I mean, we have a double-digit lead going into the second half, pretty comfortable. And it's largely due to those rebounds. And in my opinion, I think the field goal shooting this game has been a lot better at 43% than earlier games in the season. And they definitely need to keep this up. The rebounds, the the field goal shooting, the keeping the game in in their own hands with these stats. Definitely.
Yeah, I completely agree. I think there's a lot of positive to take from this game, but the one negative that I think has been an issue for this Fordham team throughout this season so far has been their three-point shooting. I think it remains subpar. The broadcast mentioned they're one of the bottom 10 three-point shooting teams in the country, which is not really what you want to see for a team that's a Fordham team that's much more sizable compared to this Manhattanville team, but it is not particularly big compared to the rest of the A10 teams or compared to D1 overall. And shooting 4 for 17 in a game where this was supposed to be a get-right game, like Joe Henry mentioned. This was supposed to be a game where Fordham were able to find their rhythm and their momentum from behind the three-point line, and it just feels like they haven't quite done that yet. And I think a credit to this Manhattanville team, they're one of the best three-point defensive units in the country in their division, but Fordham has to find a way of generating quality looks from behind the three-point arc, because it feels at times that they're sort of just chucking up three-pointers just because they can, just because they're playing a Division III side. And so I'd like to see Fordham use the paint to their advantage and have Manhattanville collapse on them and then kick it out for a three-point attempt, because at a lot of times throughout this game it felt like Fordham was using the three-pointer to set up the inside shot when it should be completely reversed. So I'd like to see Fordham do that. Luca, looking towards the second half here, who was one player from either side of the court here, either for Manhattanville or for Fordham, who was one player you'd like to see step up, really take control of their offense or their respective team?
Personally, I think Louis Lesmond, after hitting that dagger three, the great three to end the half, I'm looking at him to really show out and continue his performance. Marcus Green as well. I think these are two names that we haven't quite heard so often in the past couple of games that are really stepping up this game, and I would really love to see them continue playing great in this second half. And Rikus Schult, I apologize if I'm mispronouncing his name, with 10 points. I think it's great to see him doing great. I would love to watch him continue to play really well and put up great numbers against this Manhattanville team.
Yeah, looking towards the other side of the court, I'm going to highlight St. Louis on the Manhattanville team. He's the star of this offense, and Fordham has done a great job keeping him in check, and only 2 of his points have come not from the charity stripe. So I'm going to look forward to seeing him attack with a little bit more vigor as he tries to get this Manhattanville team back into the game. And finally, before we wrap up this halftime show, Luca, what is your score prediction for this second half? Is Fordham going to be able to extend this lead, or is Manhattanville going to battle back?
I think they will. I think they'll close out this game 55-43.
Okay, so a little bit more of a low-scoring affair than what I predicted. I think Fordham is going to be able to catch fire from behind the three-point line in the second half. I'm going to say they get up to 80 points. Manhattanville, I think they're going to start the second half strong, but I don't think they're going to be able to keep up with this much more physical Fordham team. I think final score prediction for me, Fordham 80, Manhattanville will go 47, and I think that's going to do it for us here in the Rose Hill studio for this one-on-one halftime show. I've been Thomas Izzo, joined alongside by Luca Cole. We'll have the second half between the Fordham Rams and the Manhattanville Valiants in just a few moments. Don't go anywhere.
Hey everyone, it's Lydia Perner.
And Grace McCarran.
And we are two of your hosts for 5 on 3.
WFUV's best, if only, hockey podcast.
With all the storylines in the tri-state area, you won't want to miss an episode.
How will Matthew Schaefer fit in with the Islanders?
And will the Rangers have a bounce-back season under Mike Sullivan?
Finally, will the Devils be able to stay healthy and hit their full potential?
Stick with us all season for all things NHL and Will Cooley updates on WFUV Sports.
Hey Devils fans, Tucker Austin here from WFUV Sports, one of your New Jersey Devils beat reporters for the 2025-26 season. From Hughes Brothers Havoc to Heischer hat tricks and Markstrom masterclasses, I'll have you covered live from the Prudential Center for all things Jersey hockey. Follow me on X at @Taustin_24, where I'll have live game updates, analysis, and post-game coverage all season long as the Black and Red look to bring Lord Stanley back to the Rock. WFUV Sports is your home for everything New Jersey Devils.
Hi, I'm Ashley Went, one of your hosts for FUVFC, WFUV's best, if not only podcast for all things soccer. From insight from beat reporters for all of New York soccer clubs to breakdowns of all the major leagues and events from the international pitch to right here in the States. Tune in weekly as we discuss all things soccer on Spotify, Apple, and wherever you get your podcasts. See you next week on FUVFC, a product of WFUV.
Thank you very much to Thomas Tisdale and Luca Cole for that halftime report. You'll hear the both of them again during the post game at the end of this one. And you'll also hear from Luca Cole twice more in this second half with the scoreboard updates. Tucker Austin and Joe Henry with you inside the Rose Hill Gym here on the campus of Fordham University in the Bronx, New York. With just a little over 2 minutes to go before the start of the second half, Joe, Fordham leading 37-24, and that's in large part due to some solid scoring from across the board. You got 10 points out of Rikas Schulte, 7 out of Marcus Green, 8 out of Louis Lesmond, and 7 out of Abbas Badija, which has been huge for Badija specifically after he had a bit of a slow start. But I think particularly Fordham also leading this one because they're doing a great job of shutting down the spark plug for this Valiants team, Andrew San Luis.
You had to be happy with the defense overall in the half. You hold a team to 24 in that period. I mean, this is a team that scored, the Mount St. Mary's scored 37 in a full game, so they're scoring more. I think if you keep them under 50 for the game, you have to be pretty happy with that. So the defense hasn't really been a problem. But to score only 37 points against a Division III team in a half, this team played Sacred Heart last year, Manhattanville, and their only D1 game, they lost 100-60. So that's kind of a benchmark for you. And I think it's been a confusing game offensively. Rikas Schulte has done a lot better on the interior at finishing when he gets the ball. He's got 10 points on 5 for 7 shooting. That's good. But he's also a -1 in the plus-minus column. He's the only guy who's a minus on this entire team. So little stats like that are really odd. And then you're shooting 4 for 17 from 3. You're taking way more threes than anyone would have expected. Pretty much half of your shots are threes. That has not been the case all season for a Fordham team that has loved to get it inside, especially against smaller teams. I think you attributed that to Fordham wanting to get the ball or wanting to take as many threes as possible to get guys into a rhythm for the rest of the season, even though if you wanted to run up the score as much as possible, you probably want to get in the paint as much as possible. And you have Manhattanville throwing this zone at you 2-3 and then hedging off of screens and double teaming. Fordham just hasn't responded well to that. The biggest thing I look for in the second half is how do you respond live? How do you ad-lib when adversity faces you when you're on offense? Can you adjust to plays like this without needing a timeout from Mike Magpio? That's going to be the difference.
We're just 20 seconds away now from the start of the second half here. Going to kick it really quick to our sidelines reporter, Izzy Randazzo. What do you have for us, Izzy?
Thanks, Tucker. Yeah, the key word I've still been consistently hearing is rebound, as every one of these coaches on the bench is emphasizing it. Louis Lemon is getting up, and I'm hearing a lot of praise for his performance as well. One of the coaches, Coach Highland, is emphasizing the need for the team to huddle in order to communicate more effectively prior to their free throws. Communication is evidently the glue right now for this Fordham team. Marcus Green is adamantly telling his team to stop causing turnovers as well, and Magpio is asking if Bodage's ankle is okay, which he has confirmed that it is. Another phrase that I'm hearing is get to the paint, and these Fordham threes are not sinking as much as they should be, evidently.
Thanks very much, Izzy, as we start the play here in the second half, and there's a steal by Chris Robinson on the first Fordham possession. Robinson on the right wing, now down to the right block, gets it outside for John Ranahan. His three is no good, rebounded by Schulte. Fordham working left to right now, and Manhattanville working right to left. And a three from the left corner by Marcus Green is good to open the scoring here in the second half. It's 40-24 Fordham.
There you go. What do we hear from Mike Magpio pregame? This is a guy who can hit 4 or 5 in the game when he gets hot. Hopefully he can get hot in the second half. Fordham needs to as a team from distance.
19-10 to go here in the second half, as pulling for two from the right elbow is Andrew St. Louis. That's no good, rebounded by Fordham. Christian Henry the other way. Drives into the lane. He's fouled as he goes up for the right-handed layup. Daniel Marinaccio is going to pick up that foul. His second personal of the night, as Henry and Marinaccio briefly embrace, apologize to each other for the contact, and now Henry at the line.
Good things both sides of the ball those last two possessions. You allow a guy to settle for a step back, long two, contested against a bigger defender early in the shot clock as Henry hits his first free throw at the line. So you allow a rather poor shot selection defensively, and then offensively, Christian Henry, a guy who gets to the line as much as anyone. Last year, he attempted 4.5 free throws a game, and so far this year, he's taken only 6 shots at the rim as he drills his second. The entire year, he's taken 6 shots at the rim. He's taken twice as many far twos. The shot diet has to be better. It's been a little bit better so far tonight.
Largest lead of the evening for the Fordham Rams. 18 points the difference, 42-24 the score, with 18:50 to go in the second half. Robinson gets it to St. Louis. Now a handoff for Robinson. He's guarded by Marcus Green. Chris Robinson trying to work around Green, goes through the lane, up with the right hand, no good. Rebound Akira Jacobs.
More great defense from Marcus Green.
Green into the right corner for Henry. He leaves it off for Schulte, who throws it down. Rikas Schulte with 2 hands, assisted by Christian Henry. An emphatic slam, and it's 44-24. Fordham up to a 20-point advantage.
That's how you start a half, Tuck. You get out in transition off of the miss. More good defense, Marcus Green staying with a shifty guy in Chris Robinson, guarding him as he cuts towards the interior. He leaves a little space towards his shooting hand, his right hand, where Akira Jacobs can shade over and help deflect that shot. The shot is missed. You get the rebound. You push the pace on offense. You find the open man, Henry, in the corner. You cut baseline because they haven't set that zone yet. Then you find a wide open man on the interior. A D3 team is not going to be able to keep up with that pace of play, and that's why Fordham has started hot.
Rikas Schulte now up to 12 points on 6 of 8 shooting after the slam. 5 rebounds and a steal on his line in just 11 minutes. He hasn't played as many minutes as he usually gets, especially considering he started this game for the Rams, but he's still been making a huge impact and having a much better shooting night tonight. And I think a lot of that has to do with how Fordham's been positioning Schulte tonight. He's been in the paint pretty much all day.
He has been 6 for 8 now for his 12 points. He only has 5 rebounds. It's been more of a team rebounding effort. You have to be pretty happy with the glass numbers, 32 to 14, 7-0 in the offensive rebounding category. Can't get too happy because I think you won 62 to 15 against Mount St. Mary, so the discrepancy there is a little bit different. It's a little bit smaller, but you like to see some of the smaller guys getting involved in the glass. That's where I've been impressed with Fordham. It's been a team rebounding effort, and in order to beat Iona on the boards, which they did on Friday, and that was one of the grades that Magpio talked about being an A. You get an A for rebounding. and that's what they got. And it wasn't just because Schulte had 9 boards in that game, and that's great. You need your center to be able to pull down 9 boards against a smaller defender in Lamine Savali, who they played in Iona. But you also have guys like Day Reeves, Christian Henry, Marcus Green tapping in on the boards, and when they are able to crash the glass and even get sometimes contested rebounds, it means your ball handlers have the ball right away, and then they can push the ball up the floor against a D3 team that has given you a lot of trouble once they set their half-court defense. If you get your ball handlers the rebound or a quick outlet, it means you can start your offense sooner and the results follow.
Got to remember, of course, Day Reeves and Zarik Nutter, both inactive today. So the Fordham Rams not only down their lead scorer in Day Reeves, but also down their second most threatening offensive weapon in Zarik Nutter. Christian Henry, who started his first game as a Ram against Iona, gets his second start here at Fordham tonight, but he's 0 for 2 from the field and 2 for 4 at the stripe. Still, though, he's up to his 4 assists. Joe, he's had, 5? I think 6 assists at least in his last 3 games. So still facilitating the ball very well. Manhattanville in all black uniforms with white accents, white letters, and white numbers. And it's the top of the key for St. Louis. Now left wing for Chris Robinson. Behind the back dribble, now inside for Middleton. Middleton working on Schulte, and he lays it in off the glass with the right hand. 44-26. Fordham leads with 18 minutes to go in the second half. Christian Henry walks across the Script Fordham logo at center court, now to the top of the key, finds Marcus Green, inside for Akira Jacobs, wide open, and he throws it down. He put Chris Robinson on a poster, and it's 46-26 Fordham. Robinson has it, left wing, guarded by Christian Henry. Looking to draw a foul, but he can't. Now inside for St. Louis, but it's blocked by Marcus Green.
Wow.
Christian Henry, right wing, it's tipped away by Robinson, picked up by Marinaccio. Marinaccio streaking towards the basket, but he's going to stop up and reset the offense. Right corner, St. Louis, now right wing. Up for the layup is Ranahan, no good, rebound Jacobs.
He's hobbling too.
Yeah, Ranahan is really struggling to get back. As that corner 3, Marcus Green is good. It bounces up off the rim and then falls through. 49-26. Fordham putting their foot down on Manhattanville to start this second half.
That's the exact response that you needed after a really sluggish first 20 minutes of play. You come out with a fire lit under you. 25-6, the Fordham run 5-0 in the last minute. They've hit 8 of their last 9 field goals because they're getting wide open looks. They're starting to cash in on their threes. Thank you, Marcus Green, and that defense has been tremendous.
Meanwhile, the Valiants won for their last 11 from the floor. 17 minutes to go here in the second half as St. Louis drives the lane and hits. Another right-handed layup as here's a long down-court pass to Jacobs. He saves it and goes crashing into the chairs in the right corner. But now Chris Robinson comes the other way. It's a 5-on-4. Robinson pulls a 3. That's no good. Jacobs is back up. And now there's a foul by Chris Robinson as Christian Henry trying to go in transition. Joe, there are things happening all over this gym right now.
One thing you love to see is that on a few occasions today, a Fordham player has laid his body on the line in a situation where he really didn't need to. Jacobs fighting for a rebound there. Would have been out on him, and you could have lived with that. But he's willing to dive into some chairs to try and earn your team possession. It doesn't work out, but his guys have his back. They get to stop the other end, and now a chance to cash in.
Christian Henry with it, top of the key, guarded by St. Louis. Screened by Bodija. Now a give and go. Bodija driving the lane, and he is fouled, but the layup is no good. Bodija hits the deck after the foul. And Abbas Bodija is going to go to the line here. Fordham leading 49-28, 16 and a half minutes to go in the second half.
I think something that can be frustrating at times in a game like this, Fordham versus Manhattanville, your guys inside, especially the guys with size advantage, probably aren't going to get the benefit of the whistle when they get hit on the arms a lot by these smaller defenders. And that time it was too much contact to ignore as Bodija hits on his first of 2. It's important for players to not get too upset when they don't get the calls, to be able to turn around, run, play good defense on the other end. And I feel like they've done a pretty good job of that in both of these 2 games. Staying composed, not letting the whistle get to you, and just playing your brand of basketball.
Bodija's second is good. He makes a pair for his 8th and 9th point of the contest. 51-28, the lead for the Rams. Andrew St. Louis working on Ryan Pettis, and his shot doesn't get anywhere in the lane, and it's rebounded by Christian Henry. That time he's poked away in transition, out of bounds off of Chris Robinson. Man, Robinson has been all over the floor today for Manhattanville in a game when Andrew St. Louis has been really shut down by the Rams. Chris Robinson has been stepping up.
Yeah, he's been so impressive. 10 points to lead all scores, but how about 4 steals, too? He's been a pest for Fordham's ball handlers.
Inbound to Abbas Badaja. Badaja, left corner for Rora Kaur. Now back to Badaja. Badaja handoff for Ryan Pettis. Then handed off to Christian Henry, left corner 3, no good. Rebounded by Rora Kaur. Top of the key, Ryan Pettis throws it down low for Akira Jacobs. He goes up with it, that's no good. Tipped on the rebound by Rora Kaur. And it's 53-28 Fordham. Ranahan. Now to the right side, now back up top for Ranahan. Left wing 3 from Marinaccio, no good, off the right rim and out of bounds as Pettis will let it go for Fordham's ball. 53-28. The Fordham Rams lead the Manhattanville Valiants with 15:39 to go here in the second half, but we're going to take a short break. We'll be right back with more Fordham men's basketball on WFUV Sports.
Hi, my name is Ryan Rucco, WFUV class of 2008. WFUV is your home for all things Fordham athletics, with live coverage of Fordham football, Fordham men's and women's basketball, in addition to our Saturday show, One-on-One. Stay right here on 90.7 FM for all things WFUV sports.
Basketball head coach Mike McPio here. You can catch all of our games on 90.7 FM WFUV or on the WFUV Sports YouTube page. Go Rams.
Welcome back inside the Rose Hill Gym here on the campus of Fordham University in the Bronx, New York. Tucker Austin and Joe Henry with you. Third member of our crew this evening is Izzy Randazzo, and Ryan Zeptula is here working on the on-site production for us. Fordham leads Manhattanville 53-28. It's been a blistering start to this second half, Joe. Fordham on a 28-5 run, and Coach Mike McPio would like very much for the Rams to not look back in this game.
It's a 28-5 run for Fordham in the last 8 minutes. If you track back to the last couple of minutes of the first half when Fordham finally got it going, they got that Louis Lesmond 3, they got that Abbas Badaja 3, and it hasn't necessarily been the three-point shooting, although Fordham is starting to click from three-point land a little bit more. They hit a couple in this half, and now 6 for 20 on the day. That's just a 30% clip, but that would be the best clip that Fordham has shot at so far this year. That's something to look at to see if Fordham can keep improving there. But you're just asserting your dominance overall. You're playing way faster. You're playing stronger on the interior. You're not afraid to loop in a pass down low and let your big men go to work. You're controlling the boards. You're defending without fouling against their ball handlers. You're making life tough for them. They've only scored, 4 points all half so far in 4 minutes. That's the kind of play that Fordham should expect against Manhattanville.
Yeah, Manhattanville with only 4 scorers on their team at this point here in the second half. The lead scorer still is Chris Robinson with his 10 on 3 of 9 shooting and 2 of 4 from 3. Meanwhile, Fordham has 3 players in double digits now. Inbound to Christian Henry. Now full court press here, but Fordham does break it out. Lesmond strong with the right hand up to the rim and lays it in off the glass. 55-28. Excellent job breaking the press by the Rams. Other way for Chris Robinson on the left wing, guarded by Christian Henry. Robinson works into the paint, up with the right hand, and he works around Christian Henry for the 2 to make it 55-30. But then after the inbound, Christian Henry is whistled for a travel. So it's a turnover in their own end by the Fordham Rams, up by 25.
Now here's where it's important that you don't let things compound. You allow a basket that was a tough look from Robinson, solid defense, and then you travel if you're Christian Henry, refocus, get a stop here.
Robinson has it guarded by Pettis, screen set by Antonio Del Vescovo. right wing three rather for James Apostolico, and he hits his first shot of the day, and he drains it. 55-33, the lead for the Rams. 14:50 to go in the second half. Pettis breaks the press. He gets it to Bodija. Bodija tries to go up inside, and he does. Lays it off the glass with his right hand, and it's now 57-33 Fordham.
First college points for Apostolico, by the way, and good job by Bodija to not get frustrated. He may have gotten fouled there, but he was able to regroup and then put the ball up and in.
St. Louis with it, top of the key. Pettis working on him, trying to avoid a reach, and he does. He pokes it away from St. Louis, and Fordham has it. Pettis has the ball now. Drives into the paint, finds Roracor in the left corner. He hits! Roracor! His first make of the night is for three, and it's 60-33 Fordham.
Huge to see that from Roracor. He had a great pass on an assist on a play earlier. Now he gets the open look and finally cashes it on the three. Things starting to go right for Fordham.
And there's going to be a foul against Accor. On the opposite side of the floor as Christian Henry takes a seat. Rikas Schulte re-enters the game. And the Rams now with two of their leading scorers out on the floor. Schulte checks in with 12 points. Abbas Bodija has 13. Into the right corner for Ranahan, and now it's Andrew Melillo with it. Melillo works around a screen into the paint from the right to the left, now into the left corner for Andrew St. Louis. St. Louis drives but loses the ball, stolen by Ryan Pettis. Pettis slows things down. He finds Schulte driving the lane, and that call is out of bounds after the ball was tipped away by Manhattanville, and Fordham will inbound under the basket.
Andrew St. Louis just checked himself out of this game. It's the first time he's checked out of a game all season. He is frustrated. 2 straight turnovers.
Left corner, Louis Lesmond, and it's a 2. He was just inside the three-point line, and a long baseline J by the Frenchman. 62-33. Fordham has the lead. 13.5 minutes to go in the second half. Robinson works around a screen. Now gets it back to the right wing. Ranahan thinks about a 3, but guarded by Bodija. He's going to have a hard time getting it over him. Chris Robinson, left wing, he pulls. That's good. Chris Robinson, and the net didn't even move. 62-36 is the lead for the Rams.
I can't believe that. I mean, it's been good on-ball defense from Henry and now from Pettis, who's getting some point guard reps as the only guard on the floor from Fordham, but just a step-back shot that's drilled by Robinson. As you said, net didn't move.
Bodija, left corner 3, Roracor, no good. Tries to fight for his own rebound, but it's brought down by Daniel Marinaccio. Marinaccio gets it to Robinson. He's going to take it slowly across the timeline. Left wing. Ball nearly gets away. Now right corner, wide open look for Melillo, and he hits. A defensive breakdown on the other end by the Fordham Rams. And it's 62-39 with 12:37 to go in the second half.
Manhattanville's hit 4 of their last 5 shots, 3 of their last 4 threes. And a couple of them have been really well contested. That one, Accor was kind of late on the contest, but he still nearly blocked it. He's just that long. That's what his wingspan is. But credit to Manhattanville. They're hitting their shots. I don't really hate the Fordham defense so far this half. Manhattanville's up to, 15 points now in 8 minutes. That's kind of a lot. But it feels like they're playing solid defense here. Can't really complain, and the offense has been just so much better.
A 6-0 run in the last minute of play for Manhattanville. They've made 4 of their last 5 shots from the floor, 3 of 4 of those from 3. Fordham has still been shooting the ball much better in the second half than the first half, and still maintain a more or less solid lead. It's at 23 still, so still plenty ahead, but like you said before, Joe, they can't let things compound. They really got to keep their foot on the gas and keep Manhattanville at a comfortable distance.
Yep.
The Valiants down to 1 timeout rather after they took their 3rd of the game to stop it last time. And an oop from Bodija to Schulte. Schulte throws it down. 64-39 Fordham. What a huge momentum shifter there. As Robinson works inside but can't get it to go. Goes up and over the rim. Rebounded by Fordham. Here's Pettis. Pettis throws it down low for Bodija, and he throws it down as well. Bodija with two hands, back-to-back dunks by the Fordham Rams, and it's 66-39.
That's 6'11" versus 6 foot flat. Just get the ball inside, let him work.
Melillo nearly loses it, but now gets it to Ranahan on the left wing. He shoots over Bodija, and he hits John Ranahan over the 6'10" Abbas Bodija to make it 66-42. Schulte, top of the key, handoff for Louis Lesmond. Lesmond throws it to Bodija, now inside for Schulte, who is fouled by, looked like two different Manhattanville Valiants. That time, Chris Robinson involved, as well as Isaiah Middleton. Not sure who they're going to call it on because they could probably call it on both of them.
And Manhattanville's starting to get a little more reckless on defense. Feels like they're being much more physical, much more aggressive as they start to sub in a couple of reserves here with 11 and a half minutes to go. And on the other end, they're making so many threes, you can't really do much about it. A lot of these shots are contested. You can be pretty happy about these takes as opposed to a guy getting value on the interior. You're letting them take somewhat maybe rather heavily contested three-point looks. They're just happening to hit them. They're 4 for their last 5 from 3, 5 for their last 6 from the field. I don't think there's much you can do about that. I think you have to just hang your heads and trust your own defense because it's worked so well at times in this game.
And they actually called the foul against John Ranahan, who was the third Valiant under the basket involved on that play against Rika Schulte. He looked like he was okay after he got back up. He hit the floor pretty hard. But at 11:34 to go here in the second half, 66-42, the Fordham Rams lead. We send it back to the Rose Hill studio for a one-on-one scoreboard update with Luca Cole.
The one-on-one scoreboard.
Big day in tennis today. Carlos Alcaraz faces Jannik Sinner in the ATP World Tour Final. This is their 6th time playing this year, and in this Sin-Alcaraz face-off, Jannik Sinner sweeps Carlos Alcaraz, barely winning both sets 7-6 and 7-5. In the NFL late window, the Seattle Seahawks are playing the Los Angeles Rams in a highly anticipated matchup, both teams with a 7-2 record. That game stands at Hawks 6, LA Rams 14. The Kansas City Chiefs and the Denver Broncos play a low-scoring game, 3-6 so far through the second quarter. Similarly low-scoring, the Baltimore Ravens and the Cleveland Browns both put up 3 points in the first quarter. In college basketball, the Auburn Tigers rallied back into this game, cutting the lead down to 4 within the final 2 minutes. And now back to the Rose Hill Gym for more Fordham basketball.
It's Akira Jacobs, forward for the Fordham Rams. You're listening to Fordham men's basketball on 90.7 FM, WFUV Sports. Go Rams!
And you just heard Akira Jacobs bring us back. We welcome you back inside the historic Rose Hill Gymnasium here on the campus of Fordham University in the Bronx, New York. Tucker Austin, Joe Henry with you. Izzy Randazzo is the third member of our crew, and right next to us on-site production is Ryan Deptula. Fordham leads Manhattanville 66-42 with 11:34 to go here in the second half. And so far, the story of this half, Joe, has been anything you can do, I can do better. Manhattanville trying to claw their way back into this game, but every time they go on a small run, Fordham comes right back with authority. We've seen a few dunks in this half that we didn't see any of in the first half.
Yeah. Both of these teams have shot well in the second half of play. Fordham's 11 for 14 from the field, 79% in the second half. Manhattanville's doing pretty well too, 7 for 16, 44%. I think you take that for sure, and 4 for 7 from 3. Both of these teams have been hitting their shots.
Fordham 7 for 22 from 3, a marked improvement compared to their earlier games this season. Down the floor for Middleton, he pulls a mid-range from the baseline, that's no good. Rebounded by Pettis. Pettis drives into the lane and goes up soft with the left hand and gets it to go. Ryan Pettis. A nice move there, makes it 70-42.
Pushing the pace off of a miss even when you don't have to. Don't let them set their half-court defense.
A couple of new players in the game for Manhattanville as it's tipped away by Pettis. Once again, Pettis involved on the defensive end. Pettis again, left wing, gets it to Schulte. Schulte is fouled on the floor.
Yeah, that's a career high, tying 3 steals now for Ryan Pettis, who has been a menace defensively. The team's defense is at its best with him on the floor, an 85 defensive rating for Pettis. That's the lowest of any Fordham player. Zariq Nutter is second there, so they're missing him defensively, but his defense has been great. And Kingston Price checked in the game for Fordham.
Pettis looking for an inbound. He finds Marcus Green, and he hits from the left corner. Marcus Green for three. 73-42 the lead for the Fordham Rams. They now lead by 31 here with 10:44 to go in the second half.
I believe this is the first time that a Fordham player has hit 4 threes in a game.
And there's an offensive foul this time against Chris Robinson.
Marcus Green has been the best on-ball defender for Fordham, except for maybe Pettis, who's getting all these steals. Green is bodying up defenders. He's drawing contact. He's staying in front of them on the drives. He's drawing an offensive foul here against a guy in Chris Robinson, who has been the best player on the floor for Manhattanville.
And you did mention Kingston Price now in the game for the Rams, and he has the basketball on the left wing. Sends it to Marcus Green. Now back to Price. Price back to Green. Green, top of the key. Three is good. Green bean for Marcus Green. 76-42. 10:20 to go in the second half. In the left corner. Now cross court for Antonio Del Vescovo. Vescovo trying to get up for the layup against Schulte, but I believe they're calling this one against Ryan Pettis. And Del Vescovo is going to go to the line, the native of Mount Olive, New Jersey.
10-0 run in a minute 43. It's about to be snapped for Fordham. 14-3 run if you include the last 2.5 minutes. 10 for 11 in your last 11 takes offensively. Everything firing for Fordham. How about Marcus Green? Finally a shooter getting hot for Fordham. You need to see at least one guy every game get hot for your team. This is what happens. A team that struggles so much from the line, all of a sudden 9 for 24 on the day. 37.5%. You love that figure.
Courtesy of 5 for 8 by Marcus Green from beyond the arc. Pettis has it. 10 minutes to go here in the second half. Now Akira Jacobs right wing, guarded by Jack Maloney. Into the left corner for Price, up with the right hand. That's no good, but Schulte was right there. Call it a pass, give Price the assist. Schulte with the 2, 78-42 Rams.
For what it's worth, Tucker, they do not give Kingston Price the assist on that play.
9:36 as Manhattanville is in a deep hole here. Ball gets away from Maloney. Schulte almost had it, but Manhattanville retains possession. Top of the key, Chris Robinson. Marcus Green defending. He puts up a contested left wing 3. That's no good. Rebound, Del Vescovo gets away from him. Ryan Pettis streaking down the floor, goes up with the left hand, and he hits. Ryan Pettis through contact. He hits the deck, makes the 2, and he's going to go to the line for a 3-point play.
You have to love the energy you see from Ryan Pettis. Now 4 steals, a career high. Now 5 assists, that's a career high. Only 4 points, only shooting 2 for 7, 0 for 5 from 3. Really want to see a couple more go in for a guy who only hit 2 all of last year. Finally hit one yesterday or on Friday against Iona. But overall from Pettis, just the aggressiveness, the relentlessness in a game that's gotten out of hand, 80-42 now. That's exactly what we want to see, and it's firing up his bench.
Pettis took a moment beyond the 3-point line to recollect himself after the hard fall. First free throw from him, or only free throw rather, is no good. Can't convert on the end one. 9:12 to go. As driving into the lane is Robinson. He throws up a wild spinning layup but draws the foul, and so he'll go to the free throw line.
It was on Jamison O'Toole checked in for Fordham. Jack Quinn, the big man, checked in for Manhattanville, 6'10", 285. Kind of surprised we hadn't seen him during the game, considering that he's just their largest body by such a wide margin. So a couple interesting subs late in this game.
And first one bounces around for a bit, but then eventually drops for Chris Robinson. He's up to 16 points on the night, continuing to lead this Manhattanville squad in scoring. Second free throw is also good, so he makes both. It's now 80-44. The Rams with the lead by 36. 9 minutes to play here in the second half. Price gets it to Henry. Henry calls for Jacobs to screen, and he does. Out to Price on the right wing. Back up to Christian Henry. Henry gets it to Jamison O'Toole. The 3 for the left wing. Jamison O'Toole hits on the first shot he takes. 83-44. The Rams up by 39.
Have to love Jamison O'Toole minutes.
Chris Robinson, left wing, now moves over to the right side. Cross-court pass into the back of Akira Jacobs, but Robinson regains it. Now into the left corner. It's Jack Maloney, and he hits on the wide-open look for three. 83-47 now.
First career bucket for Maloney.
8:18 to go in the second half. Kingston Price and now Christian Henry. Screened by Jacobs. Christian Henry gets it to O'Toole. O'Toole, and it's stolen away. Streaking down to the other end and making with the right hand. It's Nevin Noor, the senior guard from Pomona, New York. 83-49 Fordham, under 8 to play.
That kid's Jamison O'Toole's kryptonite. He's got even more style than O'Toole. He's got the red goggles on, the long mane.
Corner three, O'Toole. That's no good. Fight for the rebound, and it's last touched by Manhattanville off of Andrew Melillo. And that's going to be our first stoppage under 8 here in the building. So a brief timeout. We're going to step aside for just a moment, but 7:47 to go here in the second half. Fordham leads 83-49. A huge run here in the second half. We'll be right back with more Fordham men's basketball on WFUV Sports.
Hi everyone, I'm Grace McCarran and I'm one of your 2025-26 New York Islanders beat reporters for WFUV Sports. Follow me on X at Grace McCarran_ for live game updates, features, and other inside content from the island all season long. From the development of first overall pick Matthew Schaefer to incredible saves by Ilya Sorokin, WFUV Sports has you covered every step of the way as the Isles look towards the postseason. WFUV is your home for New York sports.
Welcome back inside the Rose Hill Gym here on the campus of Fordham University in the Bronx, New York. Tucker Austin and Joe Henry with you. And before we get back to play here in the second half, we're going to kick it to the third member of our broadcast crew today. Here is Izzy Randazzo.
Thanks, Tucker. Yeah, the bench is going crazy right now. Just for some Schulte dunks and the way that Marcus Green is playing right now, it's absolutely electric. Magpio continues to emphasize the need for the Fordham team to talk. Obviously, communication is key right now. Bench morale seems high, team seems to be good spirits. Jamison O'Toole's appearance in recent 3 has got the bench up and jumping in support for their teammate. And I'm really just seeing that bench energy is much more excited now compared to before, and the confidence of this team on and off the court is palpable.
Thanks so much, Izzy. Fordham working a couple of different players into this game now, O'Toole being one of them, who hasn't gotten much time this year, but he's getting some minutes now in this one, as well as Kingston Price. Price didn't see any action as a freshman on this squad under Keith Ergo last year, but this now his second appearance of the season under Coach Magpio.
Marquee matchup, Nevin Noor is guarding Jamison O'Toole right now. This is the drip-off. O'Toole wants it. Throw it in.
Christian Henry throws it to Rurikor. He goes up with the right hand, still can't get it. And they're going to call a foul this time. I believe it was against Rurikor.
Someone hit Jack Quinn in the face on the rebound.
Other way comes Andrew Melillo for Manhattanville. Top of the key now, right wing. Now moves it inside. It's Jack Quinn, the big man. His right-hand layup is no good. Rebound, Akira Jacobs. Jamison O'Toole brings it up for the Rams. Now throws it cross-court for Henry. Into the left corner, Kingston Price. He hits for 3. Kingston Price makes it 86-49 Fordham with 7:15 to go in the second half.
Mike Magpio says no one works harder. He's in the gym every single day. He gets to see one go down here.
Top of the key, Andrew Melillo. Melillo working on a core. Fires over Rurikor, no good. Rebound, Akira Jacobs. Christian Henry streaks down the floor in front of us on the right wing. Now up top for Akira Jacobs. O'Toole, handoff for Kingston Price. Price, down low for Henry. Goes up, and he makes against Jack Quinn. Oh my goodness. Christian Henry against the 6'10" Jack Quinn gets it to go with the right hand.
Leaned into that 285 pounds of pure muscle from Jack Quinn.
88-49, the Rams lead with under 6.5 to go in the second half. Melillo looking for a place to go with it. It's tipped away multiple times, but then Christian Henry finally whistled for the reach-in, and he'll go take a seat as a couple more Rams check in here. Ryan Pettis back in the game alongside a new face in Max Miller. Miller, a sophomore guard from Rye, New York.
Max Miller minutes, looking for his first points.
Inbound to another new face, Tyler Kuhn. Nevin Noor, right wing, finds Melillo. Melillo working from his right to his left, over to the left wing, guarded by Kingston Price. Gets it back to Kuhn, inside. Reverse layup's no good, rebounded by Miller. Max Miller gonna bring it up the floor. He gets it to Pettis to break the press, and now Ryan Pettis stops it at the timeline. Under 6 to play here in the second half. Left corner three, Max Miller is too long. Rebounded by Jack Maloney. Maloney on the left wing. He's going to drive to the post, and he hits the short-range jumper. Makes it 88-51 with 5.5 to go in the second.
Got to keep drawing up looks for Max Miller.
Into the corner, Kingston Price, right corner three, no good. Almost rebounded by Ruhr. Of course, he grabbed the rim after trying to grab the basketball rather, but it's out of bounds off of a core. Manhattanville's ball.
Watching Ruhr Core as a rebounder is so funny because he touches the rim every single time he goes up for an offensive rebound, even if he doesn't have the ball, because he's just ready. In case he does come down with the ball, he's ready to just flush it through the hoop.
Maloney to Melillo. Melillo guarded by Pettis. Melillo up with the right hand off the glass, no good. Rebound to Core. Pettis pushing the pace. Into the corner, Max Miller, left corner three, no good. Rebounded by Maloney. Maloney working up the floor. Guarded by Price. Now back to Maloney on the left wing, he slows things down. Puts it on the floor, looking for a screen. From Quinn, he gets it. Left side, top of the key three, no good. Rebounded by O'Toole. 4:40 to play here in the second half. Fordham leading by 37. O'Toole, again. Left corner, Max Miller thinks better of it. And now he fires it up top for Ryan Pettis. Pettis top of the key. Now into the corner, it's Miller again, but no good, short off the front of the rim. Rebounded by Nevin Noor.
Got to keep shooting if you're Max Miller. You got to keep shooting. One of these is going to go in.
Noor guarded by Price, and he is fouled by Price as he hits the deck. Checking in now for the Rams is Aiden Crotty as Ryan Pettis takes a seat. So now it's Kingston Price, Max Miller, Aiden Crotty, Jamison O'Toole, and Rora Core in there for the Rams.
You got the three amigos in the game. That's what Coach Mike Pyle calls them. O'Toole, Crotty, Max Miller, three best friends.
Left wing. Now right corner. Up with the right hand, it's Antonio Del Vescovo driving into the paint and going up soft with the layup. 88-53 Fordham. 3:45 to go in the second half. Aiden Crotty for three from the right corner. That's no good. It's long. Rebounded by Manhattanville. Coming the other way, it's Melillo. Nevin Noor. Noor in the left wing. And now Noor with the three. From the left wing, it's Nevin Noor. 88-56. And I believe it was Fordham who called that time. No, it's Manhattanville, and they take their final timeout of this contest with 3:32 to go in the second half.
Take it to relish a 7-0 run in the last 3 minutes and 11 seconds. Meanwhile, Fordham hasn't scored in the same amount of time. I mean, 3 full minutes without scoring for this Fordham unit. One for your last 7 from 3, all of a sudden, one for your last 6 overall. You're not going to get the best looks in this kind of situation. You have a guy, Max Miller, who needs to get on the board as a college player. It's his, 3rd or 4th career appearance. He's got to see one go in, so I totally get it. I endorse that much. But the numbers might be a little bit worse than you had hoped for after what was a really great first 12 minutes or so to the second half.
Yeah, still 11 made threes for the Fordham Rams, though, and they made them when they needed to earlier on in this game. But now with 3 minutes, 32 seconds to go in the second half, an 88-56 lead for the Fordham Rams over the Manhattanville Valiants. We're going to send it back to the Rose Hill studio for one more one-on-one scoreboard update with Luca Cole.
The one-on-one scoreboard.
In college basketball, the Houston Cougars barely closed out this game against the Auburn Tigers, 73-72, denying Auburn a game-winning shot. In the NBA, the Celtics stay ahead largely due to 28 points from Peyton Pritchard. That game stands at 101-93. In the NFL, the San Francisco 49ers hold a substantial lead at halftime over the Arizona Cardinals at 22-10. After an unexpected pick six from Cleveland's defense, the Browns lead the Ravens 13-10 at the 2-minute warning. The Chiefs and Broncos are tied right at 6 apiece with 2 minutes left in the first half. The Seattle Seahawks trail behind the LA Rams 9-14 beginning the third quarter. And now back to the Rose Hill Gym for more Fordham basketball.
Welcome back inside the Rose Hill Gym here on the campus of Fordham University in the Bronx, New York. Tucker Austin and Joe Henry with you as the Fordham Rams are nursing a 32-point advantage to the finish here at home. Joe, a lot of players in the game for the Fordham Rams now who don't usually see a lot of time, but this could be one of the more fun times in a game if you're a fan, because you get to see some guys maybe get a chance to score who don't usually.
Absolutely. People know the situation. I mean, walk-ons are kind of a dying breed in the Division I world, so for Fordham to have 3 of them and then another guy in Kingston Price who didn't see action last year, it's special when they're all on the floor.
They try to get it to Max Miller down low, but it's stolen away by Nasir Emery. Some switches into the game now for Manhattanville as well. On the ball now, it's Tristan Marrero. Now to the right wing. Marrero takes a deep 3, and he hits. Tristan Marrero for 3 to make it 88-59. Under 3 to go here in the second half. Fordham needs to start bleeding time off the clock here. O'Toole with it, top of the key. Now Kingston Price. Price working on a couple defenders. Now Rora Core. Jamison O'Toole. Left corner 3. Aiden Crotty. He hits! Crotty for 3, and Fordham cracked 90. It's 91-59 with 2.5 minutes to go.
Aiden Crotty minutes have been unironically great. He plays with his heart in his sleeve. He's hustling every play, offense, defense, and he's hitting his shots too. He hits a 3 here.
Curtis Stay with the ball, guarded by Miller. Right wing, a 3. Tyler Kuhn, way long, over the rim, airballed and out of bounds.
Somehow Manhattanville shooting 10 for 25, 40%. From downtown. They've been on fire all half, and a lot of these takes, you live with those takes. Somehow they're all going in.
Max Miller with it right wing. Works around in a core screen, but it gets away. Stolen by Kuhn, and now Tristan Marrero has it. He gets it back to Maloney. Jack Maloney, left wing. Gets it to Curtis Stay. Stay pulls a long jumper. That's no good. Rebound to Core. Under 2 to go now. Fordham leads by 32. Kingston Price with it. Max Miller hits the deck. Price up top for O'Toole. Left corner. Aiden Crotty again. And he hits again. Aiden Crotty, 2 straight threes. 94-59. This building is erupting.
You got a 3-point problem? Let Aiden Crotty solve it.
Marrero. Now to the left corner. It's Stay. Stay to Tyler Kuhn, guarded by Crotty. Into the paint, blocked by Roracor, but they call a foul.
Foul on Crotty in the back. Got beat by his man.
If Crotty doesn't make contact there, that was a authoritative block by Roracor. He sent that ball straight back into the floor. But instead, Tyler Kuhn, the 6-foot junior from Deer Park, New York, at the line, and he misses the first. The second of 2, also no good. 94-59 remains the score. 1:14 to go in the second half.
Got it, Fordham, Miller.
Fordham can taste it now. Miller, the handoff. Max Miller gets it back to Roracor. Now Jamison O'Toole, top of the key 3, no good. Almost rebounded by Core, but O'Toole has it. O'Toole drives the lane, no good. Off the glass and didn't hit the rim. Now pushing the pace is Manhattanville. Tyler Kuhn inside. He's fouled by Rora Core, and he'll go to the line for an and one. 94-61 here with 50 seconds to go in the second half.
Definitely some impressive play from the bench guys on Manhattanville. These aren't guys you expect to fare well against D1 opponents, but they've looked comfortable. They've been hitting their shots, some tough shots too. I mean, he got hit in the face there, Big Kuhn, and they still made it.
And he makes the and one for the three-point play. 94-62. With only a shot clock and change left in the game.
Yep, you got one more shot here for Fordham, and it has to be Max Miller.
Kingston Price going to inbound this one. Manhattanville bringing the full court press. Inbound to Miller. Miller forward for Crotty. Crotty down court for O'Toole. O'Toole underneath. Up with the right hand. No good. Rebounded by Maloney. 40 seconds to go.
Got to know the situation. You got to get your roommate a bucket.
About 11-second difference between the shot clock and game clock. Fordham could still get a possession back here. And it's stolen by Kingston Price. He gets it to Max Miller. Miller, the pass to Price. Price up with the left hand. And he hits 96-62, excuse me. 20 seconds to go in the second half. And it looks like without a shot clock, Curtis Stay is going to dribble this one out. How about Max Miller with the selflessness on that last play?
Victim of his own humility, to be the guy who pokes the ball out on the steal and not to take it up for the finish, and take the better pass instead, get the assist.
And the clock strikes 0 here in the Rose Hill Gym. 96-62 is the final. The Fordham Rams bounce back after a loss at Iona, and they handedly defeat their Division III opponent today in Manhattanville. Joe, what a game by Marcus Green, who really got hot from three. 5 for 8 shooting from beyond the arc, 6 for 11 from the floor. He led the Rams in scoring. Fordham had 4 players in double digits tonight. Rikus Schulte, a much better performance. 8 for 10 from the floor, and he managed to get to the free throw line for one trip. Didn't take any threes, but didn't need to. He wound up with 18. And the 15 from Abbas Badija, who had a very slow start, but wound up perfect from the floor and hit his only three-pointer as well. Also perfect from the free throw line. Badija didn't miss today.
It's an example of resilience all around. A team that really struggled in the first half of play. Come out of the gates, out of the locker room, and you're a totally new team. You put together a great 12 minutes and you earn your walk-ons some playing time. Exactly what we want to see from Fordham.
And now we have the pleasure of being joined by Fordham men's basketball assistant coach Ryan Highland. Coach, thanks for taking the time with us post-game. Big win today at home here in the Rose Hill Gym. A more than 30-point W against this Manhattanville team. Fordham improves to 2-0 all-time against Manhattanville. I don't know if you know, the last time they played was in 1981. But really solid performances all around. But I think the first thing I want to talk about is the three-point shooting. How nice is it to finally see some of those threes fall? Fordham's been getting good looks all year, but today, finally getting them to fall through.
Yeah, the second half was great to come out, and Marcus got us going, making a couple, and kind of took the lid off the basket, and then a few more clearly started to follow there. So these guys work really hard. They're in the gym. It's a matter of time until we start seeing them go in. So they're trusting the process, and the coaches are encouraging them all along the way. So it's nice to see a couple get in the basket.
One of the long-term takeaways, you have a guy that you're playing against in Andrew St. Louis, who's a legit scorer at the D3 level, maybe even at the D1 level. The kind of guy that you have to game plan for against D1 clubs. Ball dominant guard is going to have a high usage rate. It's going to go to him a lot. You guys really frustrated him. 8 points, 2 for 11 shooting. He checked himself out of the game. He hadn't checked out of a game all season to that point. How'd you feel about the defense against him?
Yeah, I mean, I think Andrew's a terrific player, and I think Coach is doing a really good job of getting him in the right actions. Coming off a 34-point game, you really get our attention on the scouting report. So, he's been a really good player for a few years now, and just knowing him coming to this game was a focal point of ours to kind of eliminate that as much as we could. We knew we'd get a couple, but I think our guys took the scout real seriously. Paid attention when we went through the film, and it's a feather in our cap to be able to lock up a guy that is that talented at any level.
I want to talk a bit about Rikus Schulte in particular, because last time against Iona, he struggled a bit in the paint. A lot of really just bunnies under the basket that weren't falling for him, but today 8 for 10, and he looked so dominant in the paint.
Yeah, Rikus is one of the hardest workers I've ever been around. Again, another guy trusting the process, in every day, getting shots up. A game like today hopefully gets his mentality back to where it needs to be. I thought he played great versus Iona. It's just a couple ones that kind of rimmed out, and we're looking for that. That's who he can be in every single game that we play. He's a guy who can finish around the rim and make his teammates look great.
Be remiss if I didn't ask you about it. You coached a D3 team, John Jay, for over a decade.
Yep.
What's it like playing against a D3 team as a D1 team? What was it like maybe as a D3 team playing against a D1 team? What are these games like as a coach?
Yeah, we played a Division I game every year when I was at John Jay, and it really allowed our guys to get an experience of what our guys at Fordham get every day, right? The arena aspect, the fans, the pomp and circumstance, and as you see with Manhattanville's team and John and Romello and the job those coaches do, it's not that much different, man. Those kids work so hard, and this is a little bit of a reward for them. There's a little bit less pressure coming in. Of course, you want to win and you prepare to win, but expectations are real, and you kind of know where you measure up. But the opportunity to get a game like this, and it's a really great rule change the NCAA made where they can count as exhibitions for the D3 team and a game for the D1. So you're not really losing much by playing them, especially when it's a local game like this. Manhattanville can get over here quickly, and it's just a great experience for their teams, their families. Manhattanville's president is here. Like it's a big thing for their school, and it's really nice to be on the other side of it for once. I hadn't done very well in my Division I games when I was at a D3.
Coach, our sidelines reporter told us during the game that you were one of the most vocal, if not the most vocal coach on that sideline, telling your guys to get into the paint, telling your guys to get up for rebounds at pretty much every chance that you got, and it worked. You guys out-rebounded Manhattanville by more than double today. 53 rebounds for the Rams, 25 for Manhattanville. Specifically with the O boards, Fordham had 12, Manhattanville had 1.
Yeah.
Can you talk a little bit about the focus on rebounding and how that was executed today?
I might argue with Joe about that one, too.
It's a steal right after, right?
Yeah, I thought Pettis got it, but whatever. I'm still transitioning in a lot of ways from being the guy who yelled all game. I'm trying to adapt to my role, and Coach Magpio obviously is an amazing mentor and leader in that way. I'm able to kind of understand what my role is, but also help and coach these guys, and we all do. The staff we have is unbelievable, and I'm learning so much from them. But today I might have been a little bit louder. It was my scout. I wanted to make sure we got the win, and our guys, again, they listen. You could yell all you want. If they don't listen, you're in a lot of trouble. So they listened. They took the coaching from all of us in the timeouts and during the game, and I'm just glad we're able to get a win tonight.
Thanks so much, Coach Ryan Hyland, for taking the time. We really appreciate it.
Thanks, guys. You're the best. Keep it up, man. I'll do a handshake, too.
Thanks.
There you go.
Fordham men's basketball assistant coach Ryan Hyland taking the time for us post-game there. Once again, thanks to him. Joe, what a great win by this Fordham team to show the resilience once again, coming out after a loss, avoiding the dreaded second loss in a row. Fordham improves to 3-2 now. They're also 3-1 in this building. And so Fordham now moves on to their next game. That's going to come on November 20th. I believe that's Thursday, right?
The proverbial Super Bowl,
yes,
Tucker.
The proverbial Super Bowl. According to Coach Mike Magpio, Fordham taking on Long Island University at 7 p.m. right here in the Rose Hill Gym. But that's going to do it for us tonight. For our whole crew here on site, for our sidelines, Izzy Randazzo, for our on-site producer, Ryan Deptula, for my colleague, Joe Henry, I have been Tucker Austin saying so long as we send you back one final time to the Rose Hill studio for the one-on-one post-game report with Thomas Tisdale and Luca Cole. Take it away, guys.
The one-on-one post-game report.
Welcome into the one-on-one post-game show. Another game against a D3 program, another dominant performance for this Fordham Rams team. Much like they dismantled a Mount St. Mary's team earlier in the season, they take care of business here against Manhattanville. The final score is 96 for your Fordham Rams, 62 for Manhattanville. A second half that was incredibly dominant for this Fordham team. First half was strong from this Fordham team, but the second half they just took it to a whole nother level, especially on the offensive side of things, putting up 59 points in that second half, catching fire from behind the arc, and just being dominant down low and being incredibly physical with this Manhattanville team. I'm Thomas Tisdale, joined alongside by Luca Cole. Luca, what is I mean, there's so many positives to take from this game, but what is one in particular that Fordham can take from this game and just carry throughout the season?
Definitely. I think for sure the bench points, these players that are coming off the bench they played a huge role in this second half and this win over Manhattanville. I mean, 36 bench points is so much more than you could ask for your backups to our starters. Also, the fast break points, 22 fast break points for Fordham versus Manhattanville's 7. They did a great job here at making the best out of those situations and really, really getting those points that matter. Along with catching fire from 3 and Abbas Bedoja going perfect from the field and getting 15 points. The whole offense during this game really stood out and did a great job to close out this game versus Manhattanville. Really what we expected and what we're happy to see.
Yeah, and an incredibly efficient performance from this Rams offense in a day where they were missing Day Reeves and they were missing Zarik Nutter. It was a question about who was going to take charge for this Fordham team. And like you mentioned, so many 36 bench points for this Fordham team. 12 different Fordham players got minutes in tonight's game, obviously it being a blowout. It lended itself to going for Coach Magpio to go deep in his bench. But, you know, as the season progresses, you're going to pick up injuries. Sometimes guys aren't going to be particularly efficient in the game. And to see your bench, you know, go out there and put up points on the board and not having to rely on your starters, I think lends itself really well. And I think that's something that Fordham can rely on. And like you mentioned, the three-pointing prowess, this is not a team that is known for the three-pointer making ability. But in tonight's game, especially in the second half, they went 9 for 18, shooting 50% from behind the arc. I think if they can continue that momentum, obviously Manhattanville was a bit of a weaker opponent. It's not they didn't offer the same physicality, but they are a pretty strong three-pointer defense, and I think Fordham did a great job, especially in the second half, generating those looks. And I think this Fordham team, especially in the second half, showed that if they can catch fire from behind the arc, I think they're a very dangerous team on offense. And they risk it if the shots aren't falling from deep. They risk being a little bit one-dimensional, and I think they did a great job today. You know, just switching up looks for this Manhattanville team, and I think this Manhattanville team really couldn't handle it. But, you know, this Fordham team, it wasn't a perfect game by any stretch of the imagination. What is one thing that Fordham can continue to work on as they ramp up, as they continue through this non-conference schedule, and as they get ready for A-10 play?
Yeah, the turnovers. I mean, especially against a D3 team, you can't have double-digit turnovers, or you can't have more turnovers than the other team. I mean, Fordham had 13, Manhattanville had 11. Fordham played a great game offensively. However, they got to work out those turnovers. They got to get back in the gym, just work on those handles, work on those that chemistry, the team play, just really cut down on those turnovers. And if they can do that, they can hang with some of these teams in the A-10 league, and they can play a lot better.
Yeah, I think taking care of the ball, I think, is going to be the number one priority going through the rest of their non-conference schedule. But I think the one thing for me is that this Fordham offense, I think, is at times susceptible to these droughts of offense, and part of that is due to, you know, when the threes aren't falling, where does Fordham get their offense from? And in the second half, you know, not for a super long, but in the middle of the second half, where Fordham was comfortably ahead, you know, where they weren't in danger of the game being close, but there was like a 4-minute stretch where they just couldn't get anything going on offense. And I think part of that is there were some bench players coming in, and, you know, maybe they're not as comfortable with each other, but I think as you continue throughout the season, you'd like to see a little bit more chemistry from this Fordham team, a lot of new faces on this Rams offense. And I'd just like to see them join together a little bit more and continue to manufacture quality looks. Even when those tough shots aren't falling, you'd like to see them be able to to generate easy points, even if maybe the 3-pointers aren't falling at the regularity and with the efficiency that you would like. Before we wrap up this post-game show, who was one player from tonight's performance on the Rams side that you thought did an incredible job tonight and is really, really impressed you?
I mean, we got to talk about Marcus Green leading the Rams in points with 19 points, 100% free throw percentage. He went 5 from 8 from 3. He really stood out this game, and he played really, really well. I mean, kudos to him for leading this Fordham offense. 19 points on 23 minutes, that's quality time, really quality time. And playing like an absolute starter, like an absolute beast. He played great, and just really want to shout out him here.
Yeah, I think there are a number of players on this Fordham team that you can highlight as sort of who had a strong performance tonight. But one player I want to point out, Ryan Pettis, he might not have had the points that he would have wanted playing against a D3 opponent, but 5 assists, 4 steals, really just selfless basketball from the guard, and I think he did a great job being sort of a supporting cast for this Fordham team. Not every guy needs to go out there and be the number one scorer for this team. You have to have guys who are going to go out there, who are going to dish the rock, who are going to make an impact on defense, and I think he did a great job of doing that today. Even though the 3-pointers weren't falling 0 for 5 tonight, obviously he would have liked to see a couple of those go down, but I think a very selfless performance from Ryan Pettis, and I think that is going to do it for us here tonight on a windy Sunday evening here in the Bronx. On behalf of our entire crew here at WFUV Sports, our play-by-play was Tucker Austin, our color was Joe Henry, on the sidelines was Izzy Randazzo, and on-site production Ryan Deptula, and in the Rose Hill studio, I was joined alongside by Luca Cole. Kurt Sippel was behind the glass, and Leah Renshaw was responsible for the engineer and our highlights. Bobber Chaffardini is our sports director. For all those people, have been Thomas Tisdale. Thank you so much for joining us. This has been a production of WFUV Sports.